race fans, and welcome to Sauble Speedway, the track by the beach, for the APC Series' first visit to this racetrack for 2022. It may be a trip to the beach, but it's definitely not a walk in the park, Jamie. This is going to be a wild one tonight.
Oh, absolute barn burner here at Sauble. Always great to be here, and this place makes for some tight racing. You could see any one of 10, 12 cars here take a shot at victory lane.
If there's one thing we learned at the most recent race at Flamborough Speedway, it's J.R. Fitzpatrick can be beaten. We look at the point standings. Fitzpatrick still has a sizable advantage, but Kyle Steckley, Shea Gemmel, and Andrew Gressel are right there.
And you bring up Gressel's name last, former track champion here at Sauble, and with just 4 events left to go, and 2 of them here at Sauble, the schedule almost plays right into the hands of the former champ.
Clinton Jeffrey is with Andrew now.
We're here with Andrew Gressel. Andrew, you know, 4th in points. 2 of the late races are here at your home track. That kind of plays into you. Do you find it's an advantage when you're trying to climb up these last few positions?
Yeah, I think there is a bit of an advantage there. It's just tough trying to get out and test, right, and get some laps on the car. But, you know, we seem to be making out all right today, and we're just hoping for the best here. We're going to make some more adjustments to the race car and just get ready as we can for the race.
Tires have been a big issue. What's the story with tires today?
Just struggling, right? So from what we were running previously, the tires seem to be quite a bit smaller today, and that's going to play into a factor with our setup. And, you know, these cars are so finicky, right? So you got to be on the money.
Andrew Gressel's got 2 home races to close out the season, guys. It's definitely going to be an advantage because he knows this place better than mostly anybody here.
We will definitely keep an eye on Andrew Gressel, but of the 23 other drivers in the field, Jamie, maybe we should be focused on people who have not won an APC race before.
There's a number of drivers who won their first race here at Sauble, from Pritico and Brandon Watson back in 2016 to Shea Gemmel in 2019, and of course Jake Sheridan here last year. We've got guys like the 29 of Flying Ryan Kimball, who was fastest in practice. We've got Josh Stoddy, who's a former track champ here and is running the top 5, and of course Danny Benedict, he can qualify up front. He's going to be able to save his stuff for late in the race. It could be anyone's game here. We could see somebody taste that APC champagne for the first time here.
It's time to go qualifying here at Sauble Speedway on GeForce TV.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Wick perfected fire. Quick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Wick retailer at quickwick.com.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage-themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedwear. Get geared up.
For the first time ever on dirt, Canada's National Stock Car Series visits Ohsweken Speedway on August 16th. Witness history in the making as NASCAR's Pinty Series takes on the dirt in the Pinty's 100.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
Welcome back to Sauble Speedway. It is time to go qualifying for the APC Series. On the track right now, the number 86 from Guelph, Ontario, the Spira Fire Protection High-Grade Steel Roofing Systems 86 is Billy Schwarzenberg. The 79 from Fraserville, the Custom Forming Walls, Bosma Brother Concrete Pumping 79 is James Horner. The 31 from Coldwater, the CM Precision Machining and Welding 31 is Jade Franklin. And behind the wheel of the number 1 from Kitchener, the Blast Floor Coating Epoxy and Concrete Shot Blasting number 1 is Sean McGlynn.
At the Speedway here, see that one car making a return. Of course, Billy Schwarzenberg in the 86. We expect him to be a player here tonight. Quickest qualifier so far, but McGlynn goes faster. So Sean McGlynn's crew chief has been working with Jesse Kennedy trying to find some speed in that one. It seems like he's found it, at least in this first group. That Blast 4 coating number 1 of Sean McGlynn. There's Jade Franklin in the 31 machine. Third quick so far.
The track record was set here way back in 2017 by Brandon Watson. Nobody really close to that. They're about 0.4 of a second off. And after the first group, Billy Schwarzenberg with the fastest lap, a 14.394. Compared to Sean McGlynn's 14.401, 14.472 for Jade Franklin in the 31, and the 79 of James Horner with a 14.735.
And again, the format for qualifying, these cars are going out in reverse order of how they practice. So the slower cars go out first, and then we work our way towards the fastest of the group. Leading things off, the 89C, the London Recreational Racing number 89, Sean Chenoweth out of Plattsville. The 10 machine, Auto Trim Design out of Barrie, one of the sponsors on Gord Shepard's 10S. Colton Everingham in the 48, sponsored by Guns Auto Service and Ryan's Landscaping. And the Master GM sponsored number 8 from Hillsborough, Ontario, also sponsored by BW Towing and Idle Supply Napa Auto Parts. Jordan House, a winner last year at Sunset Speedway. So your next group of 4 on the clock again. Trying to get into the top 10, because if you can get into the top 10, as you see Gord Shepard work through 1 and 2, if you can get into the top 10, you're part of the top 10 invert or top 10 redraw, whatever you want to call it. Qualifying in the top 10 will guarantee you a top 10 starting spot. If you're 11th on back, that's where you're going to start tonight's race. So you definitely want to get in the top 10, lock into one of those top 10 spots, and then we reverse them in order of points. We'll get through that as the faster cars come out onto the speedway. There's Colton Everingham in that 48. And so far, nobody able to touch the time of Billy the Kid Schwarzenberg. Gord Shepard, the fastest car of the group, at a 14.425.
You said a mouthful there, Jamie, for sure. Gord Shepard at the top of the heap by 8/1000ths of a second over Billy Schwarzenberg. Now Jordan House jumps above all of them with a 14.307. Checkered flag is out.
Sean Chenoweth ripped his last lap up to 3rd. So, Adam, a different thing here at Flamborough at Sauble Speedway, in the fact that a lot of the other tracks we run at, the 2nd and 3rd laps are the fastest. Today it's the 4th and 5th laps here.
And you know what? These tires are so finicky, the American Racer tires, that they come up to temperature, they come up to air pressure, but then they go a little beyond in pressure and in circumference sometimes. So there is a sweet spot that they hit. Pretty hard for us to predict.
Jordan House has hit the spot the sweetest so far. BW Enterprises, Epic Racewear, your sponsors on the 54 of Danny Benedict out of Orono. 21 Global Warranty Machine. So sponsored by Courtesy Ford. That is former series champ Matt Pritico out of London. Another former series champ in this group, a 2015 champ. NTN Bearings Wellington Systems, the sponsor on Guelph, Ontario's Dale Shaw's ride, that beautiful blue and white 83. And winner of our opener in the CM Precision, number 31, from Hawkstone, Ontario, also sponsored by Struck Energy Systems and GreenSteelRoof.ca, Rick Spencer Walt.
And CM Precision Machining on that race car as well as the green flag flies. All four of these drivers very good at qualifying. They've found themselves a little spot in the racetrack where traffic is not going to be an issue for them.
Matt Perdico's had plenty of success here. He recorded his first ever APC feature win here at Sauble Speedway. We've been here 9 times in series history. Perdico's got 3 of them. Brandon Watson has 4, with singles going to Shea Gemmel. And last year, Jake Sheridan picking up his maiden trip to victory lane.
These drivers starting to show up at the top of the chart. Matt Perdico up to 3rd. New fast time of 14.296 for Dale Shaw. Rick Spencer Walt to P2.
Perdico hanging in there in 5th. He went a little quicker on his 4th lap, but not quick enough to move up. Shaw goes even faster, runs at .263.
You know, maybe they are going to approach this track record. They've got to get down to a 14 flat, a 14.03. That's a tall order, but they're starting to lay down some big laps. Dale Shaw remains at the top as the session concludes. Dale Shaw in the 83 P1, the 31 of Rick Spencer Walt is 2nd. The 8 of Jordan House is still up there in the 3rd spot. The 10S of Gord Shepard is 4th. The 54 of Danny Benedict rounds out the top 5.
Matt Perdico 6th right now. Sean Chenna was 7th. Billy Schwarzenberg 8th. Sean McGlynn 9th, and Jade Franklin rounding out the top 10. So those are the 10 cars that right now would be in the invert, but I don't expect the guys at the back end of that top 10 to stay in there very much longer. Hey, making a return to the Speedway. He's missed a race or two since wadding that car up at Delaware Speedway. It's the Taylor Holloway-owned number 4. Connor James out of Hamilton, sponsored by SSG Gloves, Airedale Carriers, and Holloway Motorsports. Behind him on the Speedway, good to see the 72 back in action. Shad Motorsports, the main sponsor on that Junior Hanley lookalike from Guelph, Ontario. It's Junior Farley in that 72. Winner of one of the features here last year at Sauble Speedway in the Pride Seeds, Cameron Cranes. Sponsored 52, that's Jake the Snake Sheridan. Also L82 on the nose of that car. And SDR Seating and Sobeys, the sponsors on the 74. Jake Della Riva out of London, or out of Dundas, excuse me. So green is out, they're on the clock. And we'll see who can go faster than a 14.248. Sheridan always seems to qualify well, and always seems to qualify well here. You see that 52 down to the line. Puts lap 1 on the board. It's a 15.1, so not very competitive, but watch those times start to climb.
Yeah, they'll drop quite a bit. Nothing to even see at this point. Now we start to get into the money laps, Jamie. Great to see Connor James back in the SSG Gloves number 4. And Junior Farley, you talked about him. He's one of my sleepers tonight. I watch for him to have a big night. I expect he's going to qualify in the top 10. Like, watch me be wrong, but he was very fast in practice.
Love the nostalgic Junior Hanley paint scheme. Just a different one from his prior, the orange he had before.
P4 for Junior Farley in that 72.
I believe that would be the old Motion sponsored entry. Used to be Motion Ford Lincoln Mercury out of London, sponsored Junior Hanley, and that's that throwback scheme for Junior Farley. Checkered flag out.
Man, this group
they struggled.
Not going to be real happy with their results. Most of them not even cracking the top 10. Junior Farley locks into 4th, and is he the only driver to get into the top 10 out of that group? It looks like he was.
Yeah, Jake Sheridan all the way down the ladder in 14th. So we were kidding about Sean McGlynn being 9th and would it hold up? Well, it held up for one group.
Hey, and Sean McGlynn has sat out a little bit. I know that was eating away at him. Great to see him back at the racetrack. Now we're seeing some of the heavy hitters. And a not-so-heavy hitter, Tom Gibbons being in the 2nd fastest group. That's a big moment for Tom Gibbons in that number 10.
Well, if there's one place that Tom's going to do well, you have to figure it's here at Sauble Speedway. He's from just down the road in Southampton. And you know what? Tom Gibbons 2022 has been better than Tom Gibbons 2021 and better than Tom Gibbons in 2020. He's put some solid runs together and has shown speed this year.
So is it a reboot or a requel, you think, for Tom Gibbons this year? He's had some good fortune here in 2022.
Yeah, we'll see how he does here tonight. Again, always pleased to get to his home track and race in front of the Gibbons Motorsports fans.
Kyle Steckley from Milverton, Ontario, of course, at APC 22. Andrew Gressel comes into tonight's race 4th in points. The Sauble Falls Tent and Trailer Park 81. He's got Stewart's equipment on that car as well.
And there's Josh Stoddy now taking a green flag as well in the Ridgeline Lubricants Canadian Flat Roof System sponsor number 17.
And it doesn't count for anything, but Andrew Gressel is hitting the chip about 15 feet earlier than anybody else, which means he's getting off the corner that much better.
Or he's got more gear. One of the two.
Could be, but I bet you they all run the same gear.
Be pretty close. We'll see what Gressel can do here. So far, none of these drivers have cracked the top 10, while Steckley's 11th.
New fast time, it's Kyle Steckley with a 14.192.
Half a tenth better than Dale Shaw, so Steckley to the top of the board. Stoddy times in 3rd, Gressel 6th.
Top 6 locks you into the top 10. Because there's only 4 more drivers to come, so top 6 is what they are shooting for right now. Kyle Steckley is quickest, Andrew Gressel up to the 5th spot. Josh Stoddy to P3. Tom Gibbons not able to make it up into that top 10. So we're seeing some drivers hang around here. Look at Jordan House. Jordan House was in our 2nd group, which means he was in the bottom 8 in practice today.
Hey, and some guys in that qualifying session, I know we'll talk about this a little later on, but some sponsors with some big activation here tonight. So all the Ridgeline folks, we saw them all in the green shirts. They're cheering on their man Josh Stoddy. And Andrew Gressel brought over 100 people from the Canadian Union of Skilled Workers here tonight. So great to see those companies getting involved in bringing their employees and members and friends and families out to the racetrack to have some fun.
Absolutely fantastic. On the racetrack now, the Fast Four from practice. From Norwood, Ontario, the SMG Motorsports GTA Racing Designs number 29. It's Flying Ryan Kimball. The 84, our points leader from Cambridge, the Cambridge Rigging Transaxle H2Go Mobile Wash 84 is J.R. Fitzpatrick. The 3 machine, the APC Auto Parts Centers, Canusa Automotive Warehousing, Miami Muscle number 3 is Shea Gemmell. And how about this driver from Cambridge, Ontario, the Vincent Lawn Equipment number 97, the Polar Blair Wickett.
Green flag in the air, and the first one on the clock will be that 29 of Flying Ryan Kimball, the Epic Pole Award winner last time out at Flamborough Speedway and a pole winner here at Sauble Speedway last year. So we'll see if the 29 can get it done. He is fast at this place. Other than Peterborough, probably his best track on the circuit.
Time for these drivers to go to work. J.R. Fitzpatrick all by himself out there in that 84.
Fitzpatrick quickest to the bunch. He chimes in at 11th so far.
Shea Gemmell's number 3. That car came way up off the bottom of the racetrack, so I'm not sure if that was just a mistake or if the car's not set up very well. Let's see where Fitzpatrick goes. P3 for J.R. Fitzpatrick. And yeah, I don't know that Shea Gemmell's car is doing what he wants it to do, but he just slipped himself into that 10th spot.
Will he be able to stay there? It doesn't look like he will. He gets bumped out, as now it's Kimball and Fitzpatrick in that top spot. Fitzpatrick, let's see if he can do it here on the last lap. He's P2 right now. Now Gemmell goes to P2 by 1/1000th of a second.
And J.R. Fitzpatrick back there in that 3rd spot. Wow.
Steckley with a 14.155. Shea Gemmell a 14.156.
And congratulations to Junior Farley and Jordan House, who are 9th and 10th in practice. I believe we'll see Jordan House start up near the front in our Stewart's Equipment 100 tonight. Let's take you through the qualifying results. 1st through 5th, Kyle Steckley in the 22, Shea Gemmel in the 3, J.R. Fitzpatrick in the 84, the 83 of Dale Shaw, and the 17 of Josh Stoddy.
6th place was Rick Spencer Walton, 31W. Ryan Kimball timed in 7th. Andrew Gressel, 8th. Jordan House, 9th, and Junior Farley, 10th.
11th, it's Gord Shepard in the 10S. 12th, the 54 of Danny Benedict. 13th, the 3-time winner here at Sauble. A bit surprised to see Matt Pritico in the 21 back in 13th. Blair Wickett, 14th, and Sean Chenoweth, 15th.
Billy Schwarzenberg, 16th. Sean McGlynn was 17th. Eric Della Riva chimed in 18th. Connor James in 19th, and Tom Gibbons in 20th.
21st on back, we've got Jade Franklin in the 31, Jake Sheridan in the 52, Colton Everingham in the 48, and James Horner in the 79. Less than 0.4 of a second separating 1st through 23rd. James Horner a little bit off the pace, another 1/10 of a second off the pace, but the moral of the story there is, Jamie, we have got a tightly bunched field. And Clinton Jeffrey, you're standing in position. I don't know if you got something to say or not. Let's throw it down to Clinton Jeffrey.
Thanks, Adam. Yeah, our first pit report of the night. Just want to make a quick mention. J.R. Farley here. He was in his Can-Am midget and got burned here in practice. The rad hose came off, and some of the crew feels maybe he should be out there. Both cars are rented tonight. They got a lot of money on the line, and J.R. is not going to be denied inside the top 10 in the APC qualifying. But we'll watch that story as the 72. Nursing some injuries here in the early going, guys.
Junior Farley is all racer, named after Junior Hanley, always ran the 72. Doesn't say a whole lot, much like Junior Hanley.
I love the throwback schemes, too.
Yes, unless you're in the campground after the races, in which case Junior Farley has a lot to say.
Funny things happen when you're four tall boys in, don't they?
You know, it really does, and has a good time. He's had some big weekends up here in Sauble Beach as well. So thanks so much for coming out, race fans. A beautiful crowd here, and we've got a wild night of racing coming up. Let's take a quick break on GeForce TV. When we come back, it'll be time to go racing.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rearview mirror. Every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
For the first time ever on dirt, Canada's National Stock Car Series visits Ohsweken Speedway on August 16th. Witness history in the making as NASCAR's Pinty Series takes on the dirt in the Pinty 100.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
So APC qualifying all wrapped up. We have set the top 10 for tonight. You should see Ryan Kimball on the pole for the feature tonight. Oh, check that. Looks like Jordan House on the pole for the feature tonight. And then Junior Farley, who did lock himself in the top 10, will start 10th because he does not run full time. So your top 10 after the invert or mix-up is Jordan House, Ryan Kimball on row 1. It'll be Dale Shaw, Rick Spencer Walton, row 2. Josh Stoddy, Andrew Gressel, row 3. Gemmel and Steckley in row 4. Then Fitzpatrick starting 9th with Junior Farley in 10th.
Yeah, we got a JR in 9th and a Junior in 10th. They're both spelled the same. What's up with that?
We don't get paid to write. We don't get paid to type.
True enough. True enough. Fantastic night. Did you go down to the beach?
I just spent a week last week on holidays at Grand Bend, so honestly, I was beached out. Just came right to the track tonight. But usually, it's a trip into the beach to Subway for lunch. But we bypassed that today and came right to the track. But what a great atmosphere! It's kind of I worked at Grand Bend, which is like this place in a lot of ways for a number of years, and it's just cool. You can go to the race, you can go to the beach during the day, and go to the racetrack at night. I mean, you just can't beat it. There's a lot of campfires right now with maybe some ladies with their husbands all disappeared for the night out here to watch the races, or maybe they brought the wife and there's just no campfire tonight.
That's possible. I don't think we can differentiate genders, and especially with the TQ midgets about to come out, we could see it. We could see a female driver hit victory lane tonight. There's some good ones out there for sure. And this long weekend, the August long weekend at Sauble Beach, to me, has always been about the TQ midgets. I mean, 20-some-odd years ago, we came up here with the vintage modifieds and raced here on the long weekend. It was just a fantastic weekend away. It was such a special event to come up here because it really is like a mini vacation, even for the teams. I can't come to Sauble Speedway without driving past the track. You got to go over the hill to the Welcome to Sauble Beach sign. At least drive a little bit down the beach and come on back. But you have to account for that extra 20 minutes because if you don't, you didn't really go to Sauble Beach.
Exactly. A great atmosphere at the beach, and obviously great racing here every Saturday night and every time the APC Tour comes to town. Had a lot of beauties here over the years. Matt Pritico victorious last year, as well as Jake Sheridan again picking up that inaugural victory on tour last year.
So our two winners from last year, and they don't even qualify in the top 10. Matt Pritico back there in 13th, and Jake Sheridan in 22nd. That's a shocker to me to see Jake Sheridan. He always qualifies well no matter where we are, so bit of a surprise, but it's a long race.
You got Danny Benedict. Again, he's had really big problems qualifying this year, Adam. We've seen him miss the top 10 at definitely over half the shows, but again, at the end of half the shows, even though he started outside the top 10, he's been able to get his way up into the top 5, a bunch of top 10 finishes. We'll see if Benedict can put it all together here, but it just makes it that much tougher when you have to start 12th, 14th, 16th, because you have to use your car up that much harder to get to the front.
And here they come onto the track now. The Can-Am TQ Midgets. We don't even have a lineup for this feature because it was handed to Jim Irvin. Jim, come on back in, my man. Let's give you a headset. Awesome to be here with you. I've got to find the on switches and make sure these are all turned on, but it's time to go TQ Midget Racing, and it wouldn't be a long weekend at Sauble Speedway without Jim Irvin on the PA.
Well, thank you, Adam. Great to be here. Great to be on G-Force, working with Jamie, Adam, Clinton, Dave tonight. What a night. Image Wraps are bringing you this Quick Wicks Can-Am Midget feature tonight here at Sauble Speedway. And like Adam said, it wouldn't be a weekend without having Can-Am Midgets here. It's a long weekend tradition. And starting on the pole for this one tonight, out of Kitchener, the number 29, Paul Harrison. On the outside, the 05, Jody Bound out of Toronto. Inside on row 2, the number 11, David Miller from St. Clements. On the outside, number 7, Jeff Blackburn out of Newmarket. Inside on row 3, the number 49, Dominic Smith out of Brantford. On the outside, Daniel Hahn in 42 out of Hillsdale. Inside on row 4, the 57, James Stanley from Orangeville. On the outside, the wheelman, number 55, Corey Whittam out of Waterford. On row 5, inside, 83, Brody Rickwood out of St. Thomas. On the outside, number 5, Andrew Whalen out of Georgetown. Row 6, inside, 44, Mike Coleman out of Cambridge. On the outside, the birthday boy, 45 years old today, Bob Bailey out of Palmerston. On row 7, inside, number 91, the young lady, Bailey Brown out of Guelph. On the outside, out of Orangeville, 48, Brian Woodland. Row 8, inside, number 81, Cassidy Marsh out of London. On the outside, he is doing double duty tonight. Junior Farley out of Guelph. Tomorrow night, Adam, he will do triple duty. What a racer Junior Farley is. And he's got a beautiful looking car there. The word is he has never been in this particular Can-Am midget before. So whatever he does tonight.
He got burnt in practice. He might not ever want to be in it again. And getting burnt by fluids is a horrible thing to go through. So tough kid.
Junior has raced a lot of laps here at Sauble Speedway over the years. He raced here, of course, in the limited lates and the pro lates. He's come up through the ranks. He had other plans. He sold his late model. He was going to race stateside, but COVID changed a lot of that. And now he's come back, and he is racing more than ever in all different divisions.
And I'll tell you what, I don't know if you know this or not, but Junior would have raced up here as well in the 90s in a go-kart.
Yeah, he has been, I often remember seeing the go-kart at his place at Martin down by Guelph.
Yep.
And, you know, the Farley family has come around Sauble Speedway a lot over the years. They're very good friends with the Bennetts and Spungas that had a big part in this track back in the 70s and 80s and early 90s. And right now, look forward to seeing him race tonight. We've got the Quick Wicks Can-Am Midgets out, 57 years, just amazing. Their series sponsors, Grisdale Racing Products, American Racer, Epic Racewear, Flamborough Machine Shop, Wagner Painting, and Neely Auto. Folks, you're going to see something very special here. And we want you to get up on your feet and wave at these drivers when they come by. Only the best can do 4 abreast. The Quick Wicks Can-Am Midgets, 57 years as a club. They're going to come around and salute you, the race fans. We want you to salute them back. Everybody, up on your feet. Show these drivers you appreciate what they're about to do. The Quick Wicks Can-Am Midgets here at Sauble Speedway. Very, very impressive, Adam.
It's such a special traveling club. It was one of the originals. These days we have so many racing clubs that travel around Ontario to different tracks. There was a time this was it. If you wanted to travel different tracks, you run a TQ midget, and it was a great division.
And I think about watching your programs on Friday night, how much this series has proved as a training ground for the sprint cars that we now see, the likes of Rob Neely and Ryan Fraser, a number of the drivers that have moved on. Dave McKnight, of course, he was a standout. We think of Dempster back in the 90s. He owned this track. And one night, a past owner here, Joe Chisholm, put a kind of a bounty out on Keith Dempster. Keith won the pole. He said, I'll give you an extra $500 if you'll start at the rear. He came within one position.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. So
hard-nosed racer, Keith Dempster. Always enjoyed watching him race. Andy Macrith. Just some big names that came through this club.
Harry Macy in the day.
Yep.
You know, just what a group. We have got the Quick Wicks Can-Am Midgets ready to go racing. What a group they are. 25 laps here at Sauble Speedway. Off of 4 down the front, the green is out, we're racing. This one is underway. And we got Paul Harrison in the 29, David Miller in the 11, Jody Bound in the 05, and the 49 of Dominic Smith, who picked up a win in the heats earlier. And it'll be Harrison that'll lead lap 1. Down through the corner, down the back chute they go. It is Paul Harrison. Then we got Jody Bound, Dominic Smith, and Daniel Hahn, David Miller, and the wheelman, Corey Whittam, coming up through. Corey's dad, Chip, used to come here to Sauble and race in his late model back in the days. And right now we have got Dominic Smith in that number 49 on the inside, about to take the lead, Adam, on Paul Harrison.
What a move. Dominique Smith just sent that down into turn number 3. I don't think Paul Harrison had any time to even understand she was there, and she had already gone by.
That famous slingshot move in the corner at 49, Dominique Smith looking for her second feature win here at Sauble Speedway. She did it last year. She wants to do it again here tonight. Dominique Smith at 49 and Paul Harrison and Jody Bound being challenged by Daniel Hahn.
Onto the inside of Bound. Sorry, Jim, just kick me in the shins if I talk too much. Corey Whittam going to slide up there into the 4 spot. A lot of people coming through the field. David Miller just had a wiggle, and we got one spun around in turn number 2, and now there were 2.
We have got Jody Bound in the infield and the 7 of Jeff Blackburn. Jody Bound was running up near the front there, and number 7, Jeff Blackburn, with a heat win here tonight. He won the feature here on July 1st. And Blackburn in that 7 car will have to start at the back along with Jody Bound. Nice to see Jody Bound back in this. Jody was racing in the Outlaws for the last couple of years, Adam, and Larry Wilson's put together a great car for him.
You know, you talk about Junior Farley. We'll have a look at the replay on G-Force TV. There, a little bit of contact with David Miller and a long, slow spin. And same thing, Jeff Blackburn goes around. Man, all our cameras got to look at this one. Isn't it nice to have replays? Because as announcers, we call what we see. And we like to think that we're usually right. We're not always.
We don't see everything. And this is great. Just fabulous looking at this replay right now. You see Jody in the infield, Jeff Blackburn, and right now we've got a restart. You know, if a Can-Am midget feature can go flag to flag, they can do it in less than 5 minutes. We see that quite often. We're not going to see it in this one tonight. So far they've been running about 2.5 minutes, but right now that caution will just slow it down a bit.
Looks like the officials are deeming that Jeff Blackburn spun after the yellow was not a part of the yellow. He is going to get his spot back there in the top 5 in that white and blue with yellow number 7 on it.
So right now your race leader, Dominique Smith in 49, Paul Harrison in 29.
Where the heck did didn't Junior Farley start at the very back?
He started at the back. He raced at Peterborough a few weeks ago with this club, and I think he was maybe running the Bobby Bailey car. He was the fastest out there. That's what I'm told. So, you know, he likes to run hard. And I'm told he has never been in this car that's out here now before today.
Well, if it feels right, it feels right. It's the right color for him and the right paint scheme. So Junior Farley one to watch in that orange 72. I still like Dominique Smith's chance. Man, she's looking good out there in the 49.
She's got it tonight so far. Looking for the green flag in this restart. We're 5 laps in, 20 laps to go here at Sauble Speedway. Coming off of 4 down the front, the green flag is out. We're racing. The 49, Dominique Smith being challenged by the 42 of Hahn. Here comes the wheelman, Corey Whittam. He had a 2nd place finish here at Sauble Speedway back in July. Right now, Whittam looks to the inside. But Dominique Smith doing a great job protecting that lead. Right now, going into corner number 3, Smith drops down. Whittam will look at it again. But Dominique, she's turning some fast laps. That time by a 14.981.
It's all about your corner exit. Someone can be faster through the middle, but if they have nowhere to go on corner exit, they just can't finish that pass. That's what we're seeing with Corey Whittam right now. He's trying to figure out how to time it so he can get that run and make a move.
Down the back chute, 49 Dominique Smith, Corey Whittam 55. Daniel Hahn in 42 and Jeff Blackburn in 7. Look out, here comes Junior Farley. Junior right now all the way up to 5th spot. He started at the back, Adam.
Great run for Junior Farley as he closes in on that battle for 3rd. Look at how fast Whittam is from about the entry to the corner right towards the exit. But Dominique Smith getting off the corner well, but that time she pushed up the racetrack.
She left the door open and Corey Whittam was able to take advantage. Whittam and Dominique Smith having a drag race down the back straightaway into 3 out of 4 down the front. The wheelman, Corey Whittam, will lead lap number 11.
That allows Hahn to close right in, side by side for 1 lap, and all of a sudden we've got a 4-car battle at the front, about to be 5.
Coming out of 4 down the front, to complete lap number 12. Corey Whittam is your leader. And Whittam left the door open. We got a car off of
That's
number
Andrew
4.
Whelan.
Yes, it is. Andrew Whelan in that number 5 out of Georgetown.
He'd been running in the top 5. I think he had settled into the 6th spot after Junior Farley had gotten by him. And that little spin is going to cost him about 10 positions as he goes to the back of the field. Paul Harrison, I don't think, is real happy with Junior Farley. They made contact on the front stretch just after that last restart.
I look at that 5 car, I think of Keith Dempster back in the day.
Remember the year Keith ran his car and Pete McNell drove up to race on the Sunday of a doubleheader weekend, Canadian Motorsport Hall of Famer.
It was nice to see that Kenny Schrader said that Pete McNell was his hero.
Is that right?
Yes, after the race at Merrittville a few weeks ago.
I'll tell you, Pete McNell, a very successful businessman. As we get a look at this replay from the speed shot at the start-finish line, so not the greatest look, but you see Andrew Whelan by himself, and that car just snapped around on him.
White flag is out. We are 11 laps complete, 14 to go. Haven't reached halfway yet. Corey Whittam is your leader. Dominic Smith in second. Daniel Hahn in third. Jeff Blackburn in fourth. Then it's Junior Farley. Off of 4 down the front. Green flag's out. We're racing. In the 55, Corey Whittam with the lead. Whittam in that 55. Hahn goes around. Gets connected, it looked like maybe with Dominic Smith, collects the 05 of Jody Bound, and we are under caution again.
It looked to me as though Hahn wanted to run Dominique Smith up the racetrack a little bit to get a good run off of turn 2. If there's one thing I can tell you about the Smith family, of course her brother Lucas races on dirt. You don't muscle them around very well. They will hold their ground and hold firm, and Dominique hung on to the wheel, and she's in the 2nd spot. Here, let's have a look here as Hahn comes off the corner, wheel to wheel. It might have been that he hit the rumble strip on the inside of the track, Spencer, if we can have another look at that.
Very, very close.
Ooh, that was close quarters as well. Yeah, just a little bit of contact wheel to wheel. Race cars will do strange things. You'll watch a stock car rub, and they don't do much. You touch wheels and it's crazy. Clinton Jeffrey, what do you see down trackside?
I just want to mention about Dominique Smith. You know, the one lady here in the class, she's raced go-karts since she was 7 all the way up and down the eastern seaboard from here to Florida, but her biggest accomplishment is still being the only girl to win in the TQ midget here. She's got 2 wins. She was going for 3. Want to send a shout out to her dad, Jeff, recovering from a work accident this week. He helps us with our micro sprints on Thursday nights back at Ohsweken. All the best to you, Jeff. Hopefully Dominique can pull one off for you.
Well, she's certainly doing a great job tonight. Clinton here at Sauble Speedway picked up the heat win, running second right now, has led laps in this feature. She may have her hands full right now with the 55 of Corey Whittam. He is looking good out there. It took Corey a while to get the lead, to get by Dominic, but so far he has been able to maintain his first place position.
Dominique needs to time the start a little better. She was right side by side with Corey Whittam going into 3. So when Whittam accelerated, she had farther to go. You've got to get the nose of your car just a little bit ahead of the car on the inside to be even at the line. If you're side by side, you're going to be half a car length back no matter what.
And look at this, Junior Farley up to 4th place. That's a position on the track I always love on a restart, right where he is sitting. We'll see if he can get the jump. Junior Farley in 4th spot, but up front, it's Corey Whittam that'll lead them to green. Green in the 55 of Whittam down the back chute. Here comes 7, Jeff Blackburn. Blackburn got on the inside of the 49 of Dominic Smith. And Junior Farley looks to the inside of Blackburn. Adam.
A top 4 is pulled away. A great restart at the front, even though they're battling a little bit. Dominique wanted to stick a nose to the inside of Whittam. She bobbled in turn 2, but she's right back up on the wheel to battle off of 4.
13 down, 12 to go here at Sauble Speedway. It is the 55 out front, Corey Whittam, the 7 of Jeff Blackburn in second. Then it's Junior Farley in the 72, has to hit the brakes. Tries to go by Dominique.
Man, he drove that car deep into turn 3. She drove it even deeper. They battle still in 1 and 2. Junior Farley, I think he's going to edge out ahead as they work into turn 3, but Dominic Smith just won't give up.
Coming by the start-finish line, it's Corey Whittam in 55. He's your leader. Then the 7 of Jeff Blackburn, the 72 of Junior Farley, and the 49 of Dominic Smith. Brody Wookwood in 83, and 29 Paul Harrison. It is the wheelman, Corey Whittam, with 9 laps to go. Out front, Blackburn in second spot, and Junior Farley now comfortably in third. Dominic Smith, Adam, falls back to fourth.
We're going to have a battle for the lead. Jeff Blackburn about 3 car lengths behind Corey Whittam, rolls down into the turn a little better. Corey Whittam comes off the turn a little better, and we've got one. Oh, is that Rickwood? No, it's someone with one of his wings on, though.
So caution.
That's the 44, I believe.
The 44 car was rolled over in practice this afternoon. Mike Coleman, right coming off of number 2 corner. They had to flip it back off the side.
A borrowed wing. It does have tape on it that says 44, but at a quick glance, I thought it was Rickwood's 83 machine.
So it's not just my eyes. Okay. That is an 83 on there.
I think so.
But you're right, it is a borrowed wing. And what a restart for the wheelman, Corey Whittam. He got away and everybody. Jeff Blackburn in second spot. Junior Farley, he has come up more than anybody else in this race. Up to third position. Dominic Smith, while dominant early, has fallen back. As the 44 car, Mike Coleman, gets a helping hand off the racetrack.
Paul Harrison in that 29 dropped out of the top 5 there, but he's really held on strong in 6, so I almost wonder if his car is going to come back around. This racetrack with sunshine on it is one track. When that sun starts to go down, it becomes a completely different track.
One advantage they got today, they qualified in the sunlight. They're still racing in the sunlight. It's not like they're racing at 10 o'clock tonight.
That's a huge difference.
And it happens so often. Looking for the green flag this time by. We're down to 8 laps to go. The wheelman, Corey Whittam, being challenged right now on this restart by the 7 of Blackburn. Whittam is able to hang on, but Junior Farley is right there along with Blackburn, and Dominic Smith making a resurgence here, now up to third spot.
Smith has no quit at all, tries to squeeze Junior down the racetrack. A little bit of contact with Blackburn in turn 4.
Down to 7 to go. Corey Whittam in 55. Jeff Blackburn in 7. 72 Junior Farley, 49 Dominic Smith, and 29 Paul Harrison.
Yeah, Harrison has moved up to 5th from his 6th restart spot, so good restart for Harrison. And now Junior Farley right on the tail of Jeff Blackburn as Blackburn trying to find room around Corey Whittam.
Laps are winding down. There'll be 5 to go this time by. And it is Corey Whittam being challenged now by Blackburn. Whittam went high there, and Jeff Blackburn jumped all over that, and he is your new leader.
Jeff Blackburn almost launched himself off the left rear tire of Corey Whittam. That was a close call. Blackburn out in front, opens up a couple of car lengths over Whittam in second. Junior Farley trying to close into battle.
There'll be 3 laps left to go this time by. Number 7, Jeff Blackburn comes by the start-finish line. 55 Whittam in second, Junior Farley in third, Dominic Smith in fourth, and we've got the 29 of Paul Harrison in fifth. Junior Farley now trying to challenge.
Trouble. Dominic Smith in the 49 just came up lame on the backstretch, back up to speed now. Sorry, Jim.
And she's fallen well back now. Jeff Blackburn will get the white flag this time by. There'll be 1 lap to go for the 7 of Jeff Blackburn. 1 to go. Blackburn out front. Whittam in second. Farley in third. Harrison in fourth. And Dominic Smith in fifth.
Yellow flag going to have to come out. Trouble in turn 3. That's David Miller. See, last time there was trouble, I interrupted you, Jim. This time I bit my tongue. Stop interrupting Jim Irvin.
Dave Miller started this race in third position, and he's raced so strong tonight, bringing out the caution here. And we're going to have a green-white checker when this is all done. And it is going to be an exciting finish, and it is anybody's race.
It's so disappointing to spin out on the last lap or with 2 laps to go because you just have no time to make up for it. They might have called this an official race. The photographers are coming down towards victory lane, but the scoreboard is showing 23 laps complete, so I think I'm confused.
It's over, Adam. They have checkered it.
So this race is official. It looks like the number 7 of Jeff Blackburn will be your winner. Corey Whittam in second, and Junior Farley in third. And Jeff Blackburn was able to take advantage of that last restart, pick up the win here tonight. The wheelman Corey Whittam picks up his second straight second place finish here at Sauble. And how about Junior Farley? What a race he ran, coming from the back. And we got Dan Bailey down there congratulating him. He's on the side of that car and pretty happy right now.
And we got Clinton Jeffrey on the scene. Take it away, Clint. Or is it Dave?
No, it's me. Down here with Blackburn. We'll let him get his gear off. We'll get in a quick word with Jeff here as he drove this beautifully prepared BD's Distilleries car number 7 in here to victory lane. We'll talk to him in just a moment's time. We'll also get a word with Corey Whittam and both JR Farley too, and find out how that burn's going for JR or Junior. Hey Jeff, how's it going? Welcome back to victory lane. Solid drive there. Talk about the last couple restarts. You know, that's when it really worked for you, but when Corey went high, that's you were able to dip in the bottom and turn one and take this lead away.
Yeah, I was watching Corey. He was just fading lap by lap, and I guess he screwed his corner up, and I got underneath him there, and he held on, but then I got a good run underneath here, and I just stuck, but he's pretty quick, so I'm happy I got around him and beat him.
Awesome drive here at the beach, man. Anybody you want to thank for what's been an excellent day for you?
Yeah, all my sponsors, my family, mom, dad, Flo, BD's, Office Miller Trailers, Quick, and all the fans that come out. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, Jeff Blackburn, your winner here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get a word with Corey Whittam. Corey, a solid drive for you. You were in this one, but at the end, you stepped up high in 2 and kind of he got under there and took it away from you.
Yeah, the car was getting a little tight tonight. Just took away too much stagger. It was fast, just had to work with it, really.
Yeah. Second place, great job.
All right, thanks. Yeah, I'd like to thank my sponsors, Allison Martell from Property Matchmakers, Roll the Page. Also, I'd like to thank ACR Property Plus and One Stop Lube.
Right on, Corey. Good job. Get over here and talk to Junior Farley. Junior, first off, we documented the issue you had earlier today, a bit of a burn. Are you feeling okay first off?
Yeah, definitely a run like that helps with the pain. So it was a lot of fun racing the TQs. It's a good group of people. I've known a lot of them growing up, and just happy that Tim Kovacs gave me the opportunity to wheel it.
Anytime you can just jump in a car and race against this crew and finish top 3 is a great day.
Absolutely. These guys they can put them in a late model. Any of them will run up front. It's a good group of guys.
How's your late model coming, Junior? You got a long way to go still in a lot of days. Are you going to make it on the pain, and is your car running good in the late models too?
Yeah, I'm not sure where I ended up. I had a run to hop into this, but I know it feels good and hopefully have a good long run car. So I just got to thank the Shaw Motorsports, put a good car together for that.
Right on. Junior Farley, we'll watch him tonight as he wheels in pain. Corey Whittam will be second. And Jeff Blackburn, your winner here in the TQ Midgets presented by Quick Fire Starter. How about a hand for all 3 of your drivers down here, ladies and gentlemen? They did a great job here. We'll be right back live here on G-Force TV with the Legend Cars coming up next.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
For the first time ever on dirt, Canada's National Stock Car Series visits Ohsweken Speedway on August 16th. Witness history in the making as NASCAR's Pinty Series takes on the dirt in the Pinty 100.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedwear. Get geared up.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
Welcome back to Sauble Speedway. We had the opportunity to do some driver spotlights on different drivers in the APC series, and it seems only fair tonight. Let's focus on Josh Stoddy for a minute.
When you get to the track that Friday or Saturday night, I'm in my happy place. Good or bad, I'm not working per se, I'm doing my hobby. So I just try to be as positive as I can. I'm a big believer in being positive for even the guys, just the way that you carry yourself for your team. I mean, if you're going to show up being negative, then everyone's going to have a chip on their shoulder. So I just try to be as happy as I can.
Well, Jim, we'll pass it back along to you as the INEX Legend Series on the racetrack again.
And one bit of housekeeping here at Sauble Speedway. Last call for 50-50 tickets. Last call, well over $1,000 tonight. And this INEX qualifier for the Legends is being brought to you by the Wyerton Home Hardware Building Center and Visco Canada Limited. As we have the cars out, and starting on the pole, he's got 2 feature wins already this year here at Sauble Speedway. Smokin' Joe Adams in that 00 out of Owen Sound. On the outside, the 51J is Josh Inglis out of Coldwater. Inside on row number 2 out of Coldwater as well, Jordan Latimer in car number 90. 97 with a win tonight out of Woodsville, that is Weth Cusperson. Then we've got Hudson Nagy in the 36 inside of row 3 out of Mount Hope. On the outside, it's Adam Cusperson in car 79 out of Omemee, Ontario. Inside on row 4, Parker Traves, 2 heat wins tonight out of Gravenhurst. On the outside of row 4 out of Curtix, Ontario, it's Nick Port. Nick Port in car number 87. Inside on row 5, the number 17 out of Coldwater, Zach Latimer. On the outside of row 5 out of Owen Sound, Steve Gurrow, sponsored by Wyerton Home Hardware Building Center. On row 6, inside the 33 out of Hastings, Paul Pierik. On the outside, 42, Jaden Chapman. Inside of row 7, 72, Jason Legg for Jason Legg at the Cooperators out of Owen Sound. Then on the outside, it is the 07, Jeff McKibben out of Lindsay. On row 8, inside 14, Cody Wiles out of London. And on the outside, Matt Thompson for the Matt Thompson race team in car 82. That's your lineup for the INEX Legends, brought to you by Wyerton Home Hardware Building Center in Visco, Canada. Adam, this should be a great 25 laps.
These cars were built for a racetrack just like Sauble Speedway. Great timing. You got through the lineup just in time for Joe Adams to bring him to the green flag in the 00.
And Joe Adams in a great starting position here at Sauble Speedway tonight. He will lead them to green. It is Adams in the 00 being challenged right now by the number 51 of Josh Inglis. And Smokin' Joe now on the inside's got company in car number 90. He's on the move. That is Jordan Latimer. Down the back chute they go. Smokin' Joe Adams. 90 Latimer, 51 of Inglis. And 36 Hudson Nagy. Then the 97 Wesley Cusperson. He's been strong all night long. 60 Parker Traves he has got. 2 heat wins here tonight. Then the 79, Adam Cusperson on the move coming up. And it looked like the 51 of Josh Inglis Came pretty close to the wall there and backed right off. He was running up near the front, now losing positions.
Joe Adams, that 00 car did not fire well. The handling was a bit of a handful for about 2 laps. But now that the things are warmed up, that car looks to be almost on a rail out there. It's going to be tough to get around the 00.
Put a dollar bill in front of Smokin' Joe, and he likes to win these money races. And right now, he is out front looking for his 3rd feature win here at Sauble Speedway in 2022. Smokin' Joe Adams comes by, and he will lead lap number 5. It is Adams in the 00, the 90 right now. Jordan Latimer in 2nd spot, 36 Hudson Nagy, and number 60 Parker Traves. He is coming up. He's already, Adam picked up 2. He wins tonight, looking for a 3-peat here at Sauble.
Latimer under attack, but Hudson Nagy can't get to the bottom and keep the car planted on the bottom.
Hudson Nagy really working on Latimer. Hudson finished 2nd in his first heat tonight. Right now, on the inside of the 90, Jordan Latimer. Now we got problems in the corner. Latimer goes around, and everybody else manages to get by. He did a 360 coming out of 2, and we've got caution on the track. 6 laps into the scheduled 25, brought to you by Wyerton Home Hardware Building Center and Visco.
Hudson Nagy with a lot of speed in that 36, but he's not able to charge the corner. You get on the brake, that car slides up the racetrack just a little bit. We'll see that on the replays right on the bottom. By the time he gets to the middle of the corner, he's about a car width up. A little bit of contact with Latimer, and it doesn't take much to turn these cars around.
No, the open wheel and the little touch there, he goes around, and Hudson Nagy will drop back and go to the rear of the field, and all of a sudden, Smokin' Joe is going to have company. He is going to have the hottest driver of the night, Parker Traves, alongside him here on this restart. Smokin' Joe Adams, a bit about him. He has driven in many divisions here at Sauble Speedway. Before going to the Legend, of course, he was one of the hottest super stock drivers in the province. Like I say, he loves the money races, and he has shone many times here at Sauble Speedway.
And the Legends division, in case you're wondering, of course, the Bandoleros as well that run here at Sauble Speedway on a fairly regular basis. They're a production race car, so you buy them turnkey. They come out of a factory. Most of the cars get sold used. But the nice thing is, they're all basically the same. So you get the car, do a little bit of tweaking on them, but they're ready to race when you get them.
Just think of the drivers that have come through the Legend Series. You know, in the States, you go to any track down there on a given night, you'll see the Legends run. You hear about Joey Logano, different drivers that have all come through them. And sometimes, just so they can be racing on a given night, they'll be out there in a Legend car, Adam.
Oh, for sure, because it's fantastic racing. I mean, you're sitting almost on the ground in these things. They're fast as it is, but the lower you sit to the ground, the more you get that sensation of speed.
So right now, cars are doubling up here for this restart. Still 19 laps to go. They'll get the white flag. Next time by, we'll be racing. Smokin' Joe Adams, the 00, has led all the way in this one. Parker Traves now in 2nd spot. Going back through the field, the 79, who has had a great night so far, Adam Cusperson. And on the outside, the number 51 of Josh Inglis. Looking for the green as they come off of corner 4 down the front. The green's out, and we're racing. And just like that, we have got a battle for the lead, and there goes Parker Traves. Traves gets by Smokin' Joe coming out of 2, and looks like the number 79, 97 is going to go by as well of Wesley Cusperson. Smokin' Joe drops all the way back to 3rd, Adam.
Yeah, Joe's sliding backwards right now. Parker Traves, one of the hot shoes in this series in the number 60 machine. There's a couple of cars back there that I'd like to see close in. I think Cuthbertson is going to close in, and I race leader Parker Traves. So we're still going to have some battling. There's a lot of race left to go.
And right now the field is stretching out. Single file right down, and we got problems on the back straightaway. The 90 car of Latimer hit the wheel.
He had his arm out the window. Sorry, Jeff, but before he was done spinning, he had his arm out the window. He flips the door open. We're going to see an angry driver right here.
He is not happy.
Don't throw your helmet. They're expensive. Throw your gloves.
I think the helmet's going.
He's got it. You always want to set it down because, you know, in that fit of rage, you don't want to let go. That's a lot of money. So off the corner, the 72 just got a little bit squirrely. I mean, nothing intentional there. So Latimer's going to want to watch this again because the 72 just got squirrely. There's not much more to it, not much he could do. But as he was collecting that car, it caught the right rear of Latimer. And that's the sort of thing that's going to make your heart rate jump about 40 beats a minute.
I thought he was going to go over Adam. He jumped up in the air.
Clinton Jeffrey is on the scene. He'll see if Jordan feels like talking to us, and he'll assess the damage on the number 90.
I got him here. Jordan, obviously not happy with somebody. What's your take from what happened here on the backstretch?
Just what happens. You get stuck in the back, and not a lot of experience and a little bit slower guys, and just need to learn when to lift, but just what happens when you get stuck with the back.
We appreciate you're all right. The car's not so much though, Adam, as we get around to this side. There's all kinds of oil leaking out of the rear, and there's going to be some big problems on this car. And we'll have to check it out once they get it out of the way. But yeah, there is a big puddle here under the 90 car as they push it into the infield.
Yeah, have a quick look there, Clinton, see if it's fuel or rear end grease. The way they slam down on the rear end like that, there's a few things that could go wrong.
Well, you see here, Adam, it's going to be it's grease, rear end grease out of the back end of the car by the looks of it.
Jordan Latimer visibly upset, but you know what? That was a fabulous interview he gave because that is the frustration. He was able to articulate it once he was asked that it is frustrating, and there's a reason people are running at the back, quite often inexperienced, just like he said. So no intent, but that doesn't make the driver feel a whole lot better at the time.
A tough break, Jason Legge, over the years, maybe the go-to guy here at Sauble Speedway when you want a race car. Lager's Race Shop in Owen Sound, of course. He has put a lot of different drivers in cars, and Jason himself won the feature here at Sauble Speedway last Saturday night for the INEX Legends. Not so good luck here tonight as the folks from Stewart's Towing out of Owen Sound will go to work and load up the number 90 of Jordan Latimer.
Well, guys, track cleanup continues here on the back straightaway. One little puddle, the track crew's on it, doing a great job. And that'll be your Case IH track report for tonight. But as these guys work their way around, they've got some great stuff going on here, and this will be cleared up and ready to go here in about 2 seconds, guys.
If there's one thing, Clint, they've always done at Sauble Speedway, that is a thorough job when it comes to fluid on the racetrack and cleaning up debris and making sure the track is in tip-top shape.
So Parker Traves, right now, Adam is your leader. He already tonight has picked up 2 heat wins. Other heat winners here tonight for the INEX Legends. Parker, of course, with 2 wins, and the 79, Adam Cusperson, also with 2 wins. So we got 2 drivers with 2 wins here in the qualifiers, and right now they are 1st and 4th in this feature tonight, sponsored by Wyerton Home Hardware Building Center and Visco. And looking back here, the 08 of Steve Garreau, he is sponsored by the Wyerton Home Hardware Building Center. And talking with Steve in the pits, Adam, if you go back a few years, his uncle, the late, great Rick Woolner. And Rick was one of the greatest late model drivers here in the province. And then at the tail end of his career, became best known for his work with the modifieds. First at Varney Speedway and then the Oscar modifieds. So, and what a person to look up to. And he remembers coming to the track with his uncle back in the 80s and early 90s.
You know, there's so many. There are new people that come into the sport. You know, you do have to learn a lot of new names. But there's so many of them that have a connection to someone who came before. Even sometimes the neighbor of someone who came before, or the nephew or niece.
Adam, I just want to point out here, it's a busted shock, not a rear end on the Latimer 90. So it's actually a shock that's dropping out. You see they put all the kitty litter and speedy dry here on the flatbed. So it's a punctured shock was all that oil, not a rear end.
Good work by Clinton Jeffrey. Man, he's Johnny on the spot. He's always right in the middle of everything and not afraid to get his hands dirty either, Jim.
No, he's the best when it comes to getting the word from the drivers after an incident. And great work on G-Force TV every week. And right now we are under caution here. We still have 18 laps to go.
Yeah, there's a lot of race left.
And, we got some fast cars up front, but we certainly have some challengers at the back. And it is going to be an interesting 18 laps here in this INEX qualifier here at Sauble Speedway, all part of the night here with APC. Of course, Stewart's Equipment bringing you the APC race tonight. And I mentioned earlier to the folks here at the track about if we go back to Jeff Stewart's father, Ed Stewart, former racer, he raced here at Sauble Speedway for many years. He then, with his business, he and George MacArthur jointly sponsored this August long weekend. We lost Ed Stewart about 3 years ago, and George MacArthur just a couple of months ago. And of course, George is Dave Graham's father-in-law, who's with the APC series, and we sure miss George and we sure miss Ed, and we thank Jeff for carrying on the tradition here at Sauble Speedway.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was going to add to what you said there. Big thanks that they continue that tradition and support. How many race cars have you seen the Stewart's name on, and how many different events? So big thanks to them for staying involved.
Looking for the green flag here with 18 laps to go, coming off of number 4 down the front. It's Parker Traves, picks up the pace where he left off, the 97, Wesley Cusperson. He is challenger right now for the lead. He gets on the inside, backs off. Parker Traves will come around and he will lead lap number 8 here at Sauble Speedway. The Cuspersons are going to go at it now. The 97 of Wesley and the 79 of Adam.
Just like we saw in the TQ Midget feature when Dominique Smith was leading, she couldn't keep her car on the bottom of the racetrack on corner exit. That's what Parker Traves is working on right now. He's able to get into the corner, he's able to get to the center, but that car washes up the track just a little bit. Cuthbertson was able to get close, not quite mount a challenge. Let's see if he can close back in again.
Parker Traves continues to lead, 10 laps down, 15 to go. Parker Traves out front in second, the 97 of Wesley Cusperson, and then the 79 of Adam. 00 Smokin' Joe Adams, your pole sitter, has fallen back to 4th place. Then we've got the 17 of Zach Latimer. He's in 5th.
A little bit of bumping and grinding deeper in the field, but at the front, Cuthbertson is closed in once again on race leader Parker Traves. About a car length and a half between 1st and 2nd, but Cuthbertson really driving that 97 deep into the turn.
It is quite a race right now. Parker Traves out front. 97 in 2nd place of Wesley Cusperson, the 79 in 3rd of Adam Cusperson, followed by Smokin' Joe Adams coming up on halfway, and we had a little bump in the corner, and we got a challenge for the lead, and a brand new leader. 97 Wesley Cusperson goes to the lead, and problems up in the corner.
Oh, we got one around in turn number 3. I was looking to see if Parker Traves was going to return the favor down there. We'll go back to the last completed lap. It's possible that Traves will get the lead back. We'll see when they called the yellow.
Just came up on halfway in this one when the incident occurred up in the corner with the number 82 here at Sauble Speedway tonight of Matt Thompson. Matt was here last Saturday night along with Cody Wilds. Great improvement in the driving style of number 14, Cody Wilds out there. Coming up through the junior late model ranks and the trucks. And last year, when he was here, he couldn't keep his car straight. He challenged last week for the feature win. He is just simply amazing now. The 14 of Cody Wilds. And just doing a great job and a great improvement year over year.
Isn't that fun to watch when young racers start to figure it out? The Junior Late Model is a fabulous proving ground. You have to be super smooth to be successful in a Junior Late, but you can really jump on the gas. You put the gas to the floor for the most part. If you do that in one of these Legends cars, there's just too much torque. So you have to be real ginger on the throttle. You got to deal delicately with that gas pedal, and it's hard to learn.
A lot more power, and right now, looks like we're going to get the white flag this time by. Still 13 laps to go in this INEX Legend feature event. This national qualifier tonight, sponsored by the Wyerton Home Hardware Building Center and Visco Canada. Parker Traves is your leader as we go back to the last completed lap, the 97. Wesley Cusperson in second, then the number 79 of Adam Cusperson, Smokin' Joe Adams, and 17, Zach Latimer. Coming off a 4 down the front, the green is out, and we're racing. And Parker Traves picks it up again as we got a battle with the Cuspersons for second and third spot. Parker Traves protects that low line, and the 97 of Wesley Cusperson thought about it. Then he had to back off. Right now it's Traves Adam that's looking really good.
Halfway through, 13 laps down, 12 laps to go as they work down into turn number 3. But we saw this before. Parker Traves able to get out. Then after a few laps, Cuthbertson closes in and is able to make a challenge. So let's see if history repeats itself.
Down the back chute, number 60 is your race leader. Parker Traves, second spot. Driver 97, Westby Cusperson, and number 79 of Adam Cusperson. Smokin' Joe Adams is next, followed by the 17 of Zach Latimer, and then the 51 of Josh Inglis. Hudson Nagy in that number 36, involved in an earlier caution, trying to work his way through the field. He's trying to pick them off one by one.
I was just going to say that Hudson Nagy starting to work his way back towards the front.
Problems on the back straightaway as I might have spooked him here. The 14 of Cody Wilds up against the wall over by the Pepsi sign, and don't like this. His wheels are turned in towards the wall.
Little bit of rubber mark along the wall as well down low, so it looks like he slid along the wall for a little bit.
The other night here on at the Dash for Cash on Wednesday night, Elvin McNichol, he rode the wall. You can see right under the image wrap sign, took out about 10 fence posts, went over on his roof and slid from right about the Sauble Falls sign right down. You can see the marks over on corner number 3. And Elvin was able to walk away, but a very scary sight.
And there was some video online of that wreck, some in-car footage, and yeah, it was a wild ride for sure.
And nobody knows this track better than Elvin McNichol. He grew up racing around here, and a tough one. First time at the track this year, but Elvin had a nasty ride on Wednesday night.
Well, guys, I'm here on the back scene. Wild's out of the car. The front end is not so well. The front tires both pointing in different directions, most likely a tie rod issue. We're going to go over here and talk to Cody. Cody, what happened here on the backstretch?
I got loose coming off the corner. There was really nothing I could do. I tried saving her, but just slid up too far.
Tie rod broken in the front end?
I'm assuming so. I think there's a couple more things, but we'll have her fixed and back out tomorrow.
Right on. Good luck. Cody Wilds in the 14 car going to do it. We'll get a look at the front end as they pull away, guys. And you can see the wheels are not pointing in the right direction. He's got some front end issues, guys, but they'll get this one repaired and try and come back tomorrow.
A tough one for Cody after having a great week here at Sauble Speedway. You can see the drone flying around in the infield right now, getting some great footage for G-Force TV. Parker Traves, how about the night he is having? 2 heat wins, leading in the feature, 97 in second, Wesley Cusperson. Also with 2 wins tonight in the heats, Adam Cusperson in the 79. Smokin' Joe Adams was the pole sitter. Now sitting back in 4th position. Then in 5th, it's the 17 of Zach Latimer. That's your top 5, Adam. It's
been a lot of fast cars out there, Jim. Carson Nagy. I every time I talk about the Nagys, I cannot keep Hudson and Carson straight. So even when I do get it right, I have so much doubt in my mind. But Nagy had to go to the back. He's worked his way back through, so this restart is a great opportunity for Hudson to make another charge. I talked in the midget feature, David Miller, there at the end. You spin out at the end of the race, you've ruined your whole night. You spin out at the start of the race, you just get frustrated and see how much moxie you've got to get back through the field. So Carson Nagy, fortunately, had his issue early in the race. It's been fun watching him carve his way back through this field. Don't know if he has anything for the top three. The Cuthbertsons and Parker Traves are pretty darn quick.
They are. They have been fast all night long. Right now, Parker Traves having a fantastic night, and he would like it to end right here, but there's still 10 laps to go in this one. And it should be 10 exciting laps, because we already know that the number 97 of Wesley Cuthbertson, he was the one that managed to get by Parker in this one, but when the caution came out, he had to go back to the last completed lap and go back to second. And then the 79 of Adam Cuthbertson. Let's give Cody Wilds a big round of applause as he goes by the stands. Tough way for Cody to end his evening, but we will see him back tomorrow night here at Sauble Speedway as we get ready for the Beat the Heat 100 tomorrow night.
Love the long weekend here. The Wednesday night show was always a lot of fun. Most people would take a little vacation of it, stay up here for a few days, so we're halfway through the long weekend festivities here at Sauble Speedway.
I had a pleasure of going over to Josh Collison the other night with the he brought his super stock up here for the Dash for Cash, and it wouldn't be a year in our Dash for Cash unless there was a Collison here. And went over and said, "Where's the Speedway pepperettes?" Because they always used to hand them out. And it was something that they always did, and you can count on it coming up for the Dash for Cash.
Well, there are Collisons here, because I saw Jake Collison and Debbie in the stands. Of course, Brad Collison always had the pepperettes.
Yeah.
It's always good for that. What a racing family the Collisons are.
Certainly are.
3 generations.
As we get ready now for the white flag to fly here, Parker Traves hoping his good fortune continues. He'll be alongside the number 79 of Adam Cuthbertson now. And Adam and Parker have both 2 wins tonight.
I don't know if I'd rather be restarting second or third right now. I'm not sure which spot would be better. They're both Cuthbertsons, so they both have a great opportunity here. So does Joe Adams in the 00. There's a lot of race still to be run.
I was scoring the 97 as second, and so were the scores. We'll see what happened here. Here we go. On the restart, number 60, Parker Traves gets away, but here comes the 79 of Adam Cuthbertson. He takes over top spot. Can he hold it here?
Big run off of turn number 2. Adam Cuthbertson doing a great job of getting the power down, keeping the back end under him, and taking that lead. Now Parker Traves in a tough spot out there.
It is a 79 of Adam Cuthbertson, the 60 of Parker Traves. Traves gets on the inside as Cuthbertson left the door open. It'll be very close at the line. Traves will lead lap number 17. 8 laps to go. Parker Traves, Adam Cuthbertson, and Wesley Cuthbertson, your top 3. Smokin' Joe Adams and the 17 of Zach Latimer.
It's getting physical out there, if you notice that, between Parker Traves and I believe Adam Cuthbertson. I'm going to have a tough time keeping the 2 of them together. I'm just going to go with Adam and Wes for the rest of the race. Wes is down low. Adam's up high in 3 and 4.
It is Parker Traves that leads lap 19, 6 to go. The 97 now in second spot of Wesley Cuthbertson, and it's Adam Cuthbertson in third. Smokin' Joe Adams in 00, hoping the 2 up front take each other out. But right now, it is the 60 with 5 to go. Parker Traves, that is your leader.
Adam and Wes are not going to be happy with each other after this one. All this side-by-side battling, and all it's doing is allowing Parker Traves to drive away in that 60 machine. I'm sure it's a fun race side-by-side, but they'd rather be up there racing for the lead.
What a great shot that drone shot must have just made going by, racing the cars down the front chute. It is number 60, Parker Traves, coming around. There'll be 3 laps to go. In second, 97 of Wesley Cuthbertson and 79 of Adam. Smoking Joe Adams in 00 and 36. Hudson Nagy moving up every lap as we are down to 2 to go in this one. 2 remaining. Parker Traves, 97 of Wesley Cuthbertson, and number 79 of Adam Cuthbertson. The white flag about to fly, this time by. The battle is for second and third, but there's 1 to go for Parker Traves.
1 more lap left. Which Cuthbertson's going to get second, or is Joe Adams going to sneak through? 3 of them battled for second and third, but Parker Traves all by himself into 3.
Into 3 out of 4 down the front for the checkered flag. Parker Traves 3 for 3 tonight at Sauble. He wins it. For second, Adam Cuthbertson. For third, the 97 of Wesley Cuthbertson. Smoking Joe Adams. And the 36 comes all the way back. Hudson Nagy and his car. He was involved in that earlier wreck. He comes all the way back to finish in 5th position. But Parker Traves wins it here tonight. Brought to you by Wyerton Home Hardware Building Center and Visco.
Great race here in this INEX Legend Series event. Not sure how many of them will get a qualified spot for the Nationals, but it could be both Cuthbertsons and Parker Traves. Clinton Jeffrey is down there in victory lane.
Thanks a lot, Adam. Parker Traves will pull the 60 car here into victory lane. We'll get him out and have a word with second and third as well in just a moment's time. Multiple feature winner stickers on, and Dave Frank's going to pop another one on the roof here for Parker as he wins the qualifier here tonight. Getting ready for the Stewart's Equipment 100 coming up for the APC late models. Stewart's, your local Kubota New Holland dealer. For all your equipment needs, make sure you check them out. And we'll get Parker out here. He will work on getting his safety gear off. First off, take the belts off, work the helmet on, and drop the door and climb out. And he'll pick up this really cool surfboard trophy, which is something cool they do here at Sauble Speedway, when you come to race at the beach. How many folks went to the beach today? Get some sun? All right, Parker, what a drive here tonight. This car was flawless. You know, once you got out front, muscled up on the bottom, you were able to drive away. A good drive here.
Yeah, definitely. The restarts didn't help me, but once we got green flag, the car came alive, and I felt like we were pretty good.
Talk about your day. Pretty good, man. You knocked him down every time you're on the track today. It doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, definitely. The car was really good in practice, and then in the heat races, we were able to lead the first one, the whole race, and then with the invert, started last and able to win that one. So the car was good in traffic, no complaints.
Awesome job. Parker Traves gets it done, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get over here and talk to the Cuthbertsons. Second and third. Adam, good job here. You grabbed second tonight. Pretty good run. You got to be really pleased with that. I mean, obviously, you'd like to be one spot up, and when you can beat the family, that's pretty good.
Absolutely. It's been a great day. We're up here for the whole weekend. It's beauties, and my car was it was a long run car, so just all those cautions was just wrecking it. But I have to thank my wife and my parents for doing all these things and flying colors. And it was a Home Hardware Wyerton tonight. They sponsored the show, and we could never do this stuff without them and everybody in the stands. So thank you for hoping it was fun.
Right on, Adam Cuthbertson. We'll get over and talk to Wes. Wes, good drive for you. I mean, obviously you want to be 2 spots up, but this is a great finish here and a good day at the beach.
Yeah, it was. Car was really good the whole way through. We made a few changes. I can't thank my dad and my parents for everything they've done. We made a lot of changes this year. Wyerton Home Hardware for coming on board, all the fans. We had a bit of bad luck at the beginning of the year. Hopefully we turned that around. I had a great run, so we're here again. Hopefully do it again tomorrow.
Second and third for the Cuthbertsons. How about it for your winner tonight? Parker Traves, ladies and gentlemen. He'll pick up the INEX Legend Series win here in the qualifier, and we'll get ready to bring out the APC late models as we take a quick break here live on G-Force TV.
For the first time ever on dirt, Canada's National Stock Car Series visits Ohsweken Speedway on August 16th. Witness history in the making as NASCAR's Indy Series takes on the dirt in in the Pinty's 100.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage-themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedwear. Get geared up.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Wick perfected fire. Quick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Wick retailer at quickwick.com.
Speedway, where it is time to line up the APC late models for their Stewart's 100. We had the opportunity to talk to some of these drivers about what superstitions they have as race car drivers. Let's see what they had to say.
Never to put the race car forward in the shop, always back it in.
I do. I tighten my left belt before my right.
I have a routine that I do before I load my race car.
Yeah, like I put my shoes on in the right order, belts on a certain way, that kind of stuff.
No. I have a routine that I do when I scale my car.
No, I try not to.
I have a routine of when the car comes back from the shop.
No.
Initial checks that I do, and then I have a program that I run throughout the week.
A certain way that I carry myself on race day. If you had a good run, you try to manipulate everything that you did the following week before.
So a bunch of our APC APC late model drivers talking about their superstitions. Again, the APC late models just rolling out to get gridded for the Stewart's Equipment 100. And a couple quick shout-outs, Adam. I got to say, our friend Brandon Doherty, not under the weather up at Sunset Speedway. Wish him a speedy recovery. I did see on Facebook he is watching. And one of the marketing fellas from APC, not here tonight, but picked up his first win last night in the Super Stock. Big shout-out to Ryan Dyson, driver of the Douglas Windows and Doors APC Quick Wick Super Stock. You'll see him Quick Wick action coming up a little later on. Finally got his first feature victory on Friday night at Delaware Speedway. Good to see his efforts finally paying off.
What's the big idea with him not coming up to the beach on Saturday? Did he celebrate too hard last night or what?
I saw his brother Jamie posted that this is the first event he's missed in 7.5 years, 63 events. It was Jamie's son's first birthday today. So he sat this one out. And but big congratulations to Ryan on that win last night. You see the packed pit area. Lots of campers here. The drone shots of the packed beach earlier tonight.
The beach is packed. August long weekend at Sobel. I can't think of a better place to be. I just can't. Love it up here for this weekend. It's always been a great time. Look at these beautiful race cars. I mean, these things go through war every 2 weeks through the summer. But when they show up to the racetrack, they are show cars.
They look beautiful. And as much as the cars are prepared beautifully, I will tell you that, Adam, that the people in the stands remember the fast ones more so than the pretty ones.
I never, like anytime I was racing, nothing I ever had was pretty. They used to poke fun at me for being ugly. I think it was the go-kart in the car they were talking about him, but they might have been talking about me.
The only place I've ever seen it matter at Delaware Speedway back when they used to have their 150 car enduro days, the top 3 best appearing cars would start first, second, and third.
Really?
So that was the advantage. You bring a pretty car, you get to start out front. It didn't stay pretty long.
So at Flamborough Speedway, they gave away big money for the best appearing cars. So it was worth it. I mean, you'd have Steve Lyons and people of that ilk come out with beautiful race
His cars
machines.
were always my favorite. The Logos-sponsored vintage modified, one of my favorite cars all the time.
Yeah, that was a beautiful race car. We got a bicycle to give away before this race as well. So, Clinton Jeffrey, that's going to fall on you down on the front straightaway.
And I believe that's getting pulled when we get to that 17 car.
Exciting stuff.
And again, we talked earlier tonight about a great crowd of folks here from Ridgeline Lubricants joining us. They came on as a major partner of the 17 of Josh Stoddy this year. 260 strong here tonight from Ridgeline Lubricants. And not to sell them short, but the Canadian Union of Skilled Workers, one of the backers on the 81 of Andrew Gressel. 100 of their representatives here tonight in the stands. We hope both groups absolutely enjoying themselves. As you see, we're about halfway through the gridding process. There's Junior Farley in that Shaw Motorsports entry. Danny Benedict, is he going to be the one to get his first career victory here tonight at Sauble?
It could happen. Anything can happen here. There's going to be a lot of cars move forward, a lot of cars move backward. How about Dale Shaw? It's been a little while since he's won an APC Series race. He's got a pretty good starting spot. In fact, it looks like he was out in the sun a lot today.
And a little piece of trivia here at Sauble Speedway. This is the only location where the APC or an APC 100 lap race has went green to checkered. Happened a few years ago. We went green to checkered, 15-second laps, took all of 25 minutes.
Pretty impressive. Spencer, repeat what you just said there. I missed that in my ears. Okay, we're going to take a quick break as they stage the cars here on the front stretch. When we come back, I believe we're going to get drawing the 50-50. We're going to introduce the starting lineup. We're going to go racing, and we're going to give away a bicycle. Not necessarily in that order. We'll be right back.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
For the first time ever on dirt, Canada's National Stock Car Series visits Ohsweken Speedway on August 16th. Witness history in the making as NASCAR's Pinty Series takes on the dirt in the Pinty's 100.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage-themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedwear. Get geared up.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
Welcome back to Sauble Speedway, where Clinton Jeffrey takes on the pivotal role on the front straightaway. I saw you looking up here, Clinton, a microphone in hand, like, so no, we bring it back up here and we send it to you.
I almost jumped on you, but we're all good. We're all good.
So we're just waiting for the last car to get parked down here, then we'll be ready to go. What a great field of APC late models we've got here tonight. We'll be ready to tell you who's going to drive all these awesome cars coming up in short order. But if you're the lucky kid who wins this bike, we need you to come down here because Josh wants you to come down right in front of his race car and get a cool picture with your new bike. So we will let you know as soon as we're ready to do that draw.
I love the way they're staging these cars on the front straightaway. The angle parking, it just looks cool. Beautiful sky here tonight at Sauble Speedway.
As long as they remember to hang left to coming out of the parking spot, we're okay.
Yeah, this is true.
I've seen it happen on iRacing where somebody turns the wrong way when they're angle parked, and it just, yeah.
I've seen things happen on iRacing that you're just not going to see on a Saturday night at the Speedway.
Want to bet?
Yeah, true enough. True enough. Fantastic racing. That TQ Midget race was a lot of fun. The Legends race was a lot of fun. And 100 laps, just like Clinton Jeffrey said, 100 laps with 24 cars here at Sauble Speedway. It's going to be crowded. It's going to be physical. It's going to be fun for us up here.
That's what racing's all about, isn't it?
I guarantee you almost every one of these 24 drivers will smile when we introduce them. They'll probably wave to the crowd. They're not all going to be smiling an hour from now.
Half. About half. If you get half of them smiling, I think that's about right.
I'll be smiling.
We don't have race cars, though.
That's true.
I've never had to get a wrecker help me put my car on the trailer going home.
Now who's down there lining? Is that Slim Sean Gibbs down there lining these up, or is that Trevor Hambley? Our race directors and our flagmen, everybody getting involved in the process down there as we have a good look at the 52 machine rolling out to get staged.
And I would hedge a bet. No? Jake Sheridan got a long way to go here tonight.
He does. So, folks, if you want to have a little bit of fun tonight and you're quirky about stats like I used to be when I was younger and now I'm not at all, watch how many drivers go to the back over the course of this race at different times and have to come through for the finish that they earn. Unbelievable how many drivers have challenges at different times.
And we've seen it throughout the year. A number of times guys have gone to the back for whatever reason and still able to claw back 10 or 12 positions late. As you see, Innisfil's Colton Everingham getting that 48 machine lined up.
Well, don't give it away. We're about to introduce these guys.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
You ruined the surprise.
Mr. X at the back. We'll tell you who he is in a minute.
There you go.
All right, guys, let's do this bike draw, and then we'll turn you guys over to the starting lineup. Who's going to pick out a winning number? All right, reach out. All right. What do we got here? You want to read it?
Looks like Jace Stoneman, 3 years old.
Jace, where you at? Come on down. All right. Jace gets a new bike. We'll bring him down here. He's almost got the right colors on, Josh. He's got yellow and green like he knew he was going to win the Josh Dottie bike today. We'll bring him down.
It's important to plan ahead, Clint.
It's true, yeah. How about a hand for Jace? He's our bike winner tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We'll bring him down, get a picture, and then we will let Adam and Jamie give us the starting lineup. Here comes Jace.
And that's the way to do it, folks. If you're going to take your 3-year-old to a car race, you put them in the brightest color you've ever seen. Jace will not get lost.
On this new bike, he could. All right, let's look at Jace getting the bike. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? He gets his new bike and climbs right up on it. He'll pick up the Stoddy Motorsports bike here, courtesy of Nickel Insurance. Awesome job. One big final round of applause for Jace Stoneman, ladies and gentlemen. He picks up the bike and gives us a thumbs up. Well, Adam and Jamie, I think it's time for the starting lineup. We'll get it to you to take us to the back.
Let's start with the 24th position, rolling off on the outside of row number 12 from Fraserville. The custom forming walls, Bonsma Brother Concrete Pumping, number 79, it's James Horner. Starting on the inside of row 12, from Innisfil, the Guns Auto Service, number 48, Colton Everingham.
On the outside of row 11, out of Mount Bridges, Ontario, in the Pride Seed Vibrant Farms, Cameron Crane, number 54, winner here last year at Sauble Speedway, Jake the Snake Sheridan.
Let's get a quick word with Jake. Jake, you're way in the back. What kind of improvements, what took you to back here tonight?
Oh, just looking to have a good time. No, I'm just kidding. There's nothing fun about this. But, yeah, we had some issues there. We only got about 8 laps in practice, and we blew an oil fitting there right off the block of the motor. So we worked all day long trying to get it fixed up. We had a bit of a gear issue there. We went out in qualifying. So I think we got some oil there in the clutch disc. So they gave us the opportunity to clean that out. I'm really hoping that that makes a difference. The car felt really good. Handling felt really good. I mean, it felt like kind of right where we left off here last year when we won the race. So with maybe even some more forward drive. So I'm pretty confident in our piece here tonight. We've got a long ways to go, but I've been a part of 100-lap races at Sauble Speedway that take 3 hours. So I'm just as long as we can keep it cool back here and keep the nose on, I think we'll have a good chance still.
There you have it from Jake the Snake, guys. Picked up a win last year. Got a long way to go this year.
On the inside of row 11 in the CM Precision Machining and Welding, number 31 from Coldwater, Ontario, it's Jade Franklin.
Starting 20th from Southampton, the Graham Family Auto Car Quest Gingrich Service Center, Tom Gibbons Concrete Finishing, number 10, Tom Gibbons. And rolling off 19th from Aurelia, the SSG Gloves, Airedale Carriers Holdaway Motorsports, number 4, Connor James.
Connor, last time we saw you a month ago, you were suffering a bit of a broken arm. How's the arm feeling? Are you ready to go?
It's feeling good. It wasn't broken, actually. It just hurt for quite a bit. But hats off to all these Holdaway Motorsports guys and all my sponsors to get us back out here. It didn't look too good after that, but fortunate to have a lot of people on my side and happy to be racing here at Sauble Speedway with all these great race fans.
Connor James, number 4, guys.
On the outside of row 9 in the SDR seating, Stage It With Style, Nick's Journey, number 74 from Dundas, Eric Della Riva. And on the inside of row 9, making his return to the series after a couple races off, good to see him back, the blast floor coating, epoxy, and concrete shot blasting, Latham Industries, number 1 from Kitchener, Ontario, it's Sean McGlynn.
To the outside of row number 8, he'll start 16th from Guelph, the Spira Fire Protection High-Grade Steel Roofing Systems, number 86, Billy Schwarzenberg. And to his inside from Plattsville, the London Recreational Racing Mannheim Apex Oil Caldecott Millwright Services, number 89C, Sean Chenoweth.
Brings us to the outside of row 7. He drives the Vincent Lawn Equipment sponsor, number 97. It's the Polar Blair Wickett. And on the inside of row 7, former 3-time winner here at Sauble, former series champ, driver of the Global Warranty, courtesy Ford, number 21 from London. Put those hands together for Matt Perdico.
He'll roll off in the 12th position from Orono, the Mobile One, B&W Enterprises, number 54, Danny Benedict. And on the inside of row number 6 from Oro, the Paragon Auto Trim of Barrie, number 10S, Gord Shepard.
That brings us to our top 10. Starting 10th on the outside of row 5, he draws the Shaw Motorsports, Epic Racewear number 72, making his return to the series. Please welcome back Guelph, Ontario's Junior Farley.
Junior, we've talked to you earlier tonight. We saw you third in the K&M midget race. You know, how's the leg?
The leg's okay. I'm more worried about the car right now and just trying to have a good race. So I think we got a good long run car, and hopefully it'll be fun.
J.R. Farley going for it tonight, guys. Junior going to try and get it done.
And on the inside of row 5, starting 9th in the Cambridge Rigging Transaxle H2 Mobile Wash number 84, former series champion, your point leader from Cambridge, J.R. Fitzpatrick.
J.R., haven't got to talk to you yet today. How are you feeling about Sauble?
Great. I love coming here. It's where I started, and the car's been really good all day, so just going to hang around this 22 all day. That's my plan.
All right, he's going to hitch his wagon to Steckley, guys, who you're going to introduce next.
Starting in the 8th spot on the outside of row number 4 from Milverton, the Quick Fire Starter A.W. Millwright Stewart's Equipment number 22, Kyle Steckley. Rolling off 7th from Dorchester, the APC Auto Parts Center, Canusa Automotive Warehousing, Miami Muscle number 3, Shay Gemmel.
That brings us to our third row on the outside. He drives the Sauble Falls Tent and Trailer Park Canadian Union of Skilled Workers sponsored entry with 100 guests here this evening. It's the Ford from Sauble Beach, Ontario. Former series champ, the Road Warrior, Andrew Gressel. And another local driver, former track champ here at Sauble Speedway. He drives the Ridgeline Lubricants Canadian Flat Roof Systems APC Bruce Service sponsor number 17. From Chesley, Ontario, it's primetime Josh Stoddy.
To row number 2 we go. Starting in 4th from Oro Medonte, the Caldecott Millwright Services number 31W, Rick Spencer Walt. And starting 3rd from Guelph, the NTN Bearings Wellington Systems number 83, Dale Shaw.
Dale, we're hearing talk of maybe some issues on the car. You've been trying to work on getting this thing sealed up over the weekend. How are you feeling starting up in 3rd tonight?
It's good. I think we got everything fixed now. It's been a long couple of days on the last couple of days. We were up here camping and stuff like that. But car qualified good, felt good. Hopefully the last couple of weeks we've been really good in race trim and going forward. And weeks before that we were going backwards, but we qualified good. So hopefully we put the whole package together tonight and put this NTN car in victory lane.
There you have from Dale Shaw. He's going to start 3rd, guys.
Brings us to our front row. On the outside of the front row, he drives the SWG Motorsports GTA Racing Design Flathead Design number 29. It's from Norwood, Ontario. It's Flying Ryan Kimball. And on the pole for tonight's festivities, driving the BW Towing McMaster GMC Orangeville BBTS Markdale sponsored number 8 from Hillsborough, Ontario, Jordan House.
Well, Jordan, how do you feel about being at the beach here? Is it a place you're comfortable and a place you can ride and get this Stewart's 100 in the books tonight?
Well, this is only my 3rd trip here. It's my 2nd trip in a big car, so it's, I don't want to say nerve-wracking, but it's a little nerve-wracking.
You got some of the best in Ontario behind you. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
House is going to go from the pole, guys, and that'll do it for our starting grid here as we get ready to go for the Stewart's 100 live from Sauble Speedway.
Let's take a quick break on GeForce TV, and we'll be right back for the most famous words in motorsports.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rearview mirror. Every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
Welcome back to Sauble Speedway, the Stewart's Equipment 100 about ready to get fired off. Before we do that, Clint and Jeffrey, who are the ones to watch?
Yeah, we got 4 drivers we got to keep our eye on today, guys. Shea Gelman, number 3, has been running good at the end of these races. Junior Farley has very well today in his Can-Am midget. We'll watch him in the 7-2. Andrew Gressel, home track race for him. And then we've got the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick. So those are your Fast Eddie ones to watch here tonight. 4 tough drivers who know this place. It's going to be a great night. Getting ready to go with the Stewart's 100 coming right up.
And before we get things rolling, let's tell you what's coming up here at Sauble Speedway. And you don't have to wait long because the next event is tomorrow, the Beat the Heat 150 for pro late models. Of course, they're going to finish off the Wednesday night races. That's 9 laps in. Next Saturday, August 6th, Owen Sound OK Tire presents Super Late Models, along with United 8s, Combined 4s, Legends, and Bandoleros. August 13th, the Sunburn 50 for United 8s and 30 laps for the Combined 4s. And then August 20, Fireplace and Patio Shop presents Oscar Modifieds and Hot Rods. If you haven't seen the Oscar Modifieds or the Oscar Hot Rods, you'll want to come out that night. Also on the card, Legends, Bandoleros, and Junior Late Models. That's your Quick Fire Starter upcoming event here at Sauble Speedway.
So if you still got some holiday time, you definitely want to book a weekend up here at Sauble. A couple days on the sand and a good night at the track.
And then, of course, upcoming on GeForce TV, our Fast Eddie Speedwear upcoming events. August 13th, we'll be back with the APC series from Sunset Speedway, and we hope a lot of fans can make the time to come down to the dirt. August 15th and 16th, we got the Burger Barn 17th running at the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals on a Monday night, along with the NASCAR Pinty Series Hot Lap Dash. And then August 16th, the Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Cars and the Action Sprint Tour. Obviously, of course, the NASCAR Pinty Series will run their first event on a dirt track, and that'll be Tuesday, August 16th.
Well, Adam, it's time. We've got Ken Robinson here from Stewart's Equipment. Ken, welcome to the races.
Thank you very much. And on behalf of Stewart's Equipment, drivers, start your engines.
All right, thank you, Ken. Enjoy the race, sir.
Kind of like those guys that get right to it. He just wants to go racing.
Short and sweet, that's what it's about. It is time to go. 100 laps is the distance.
See the crew members leaving their cars, making sure their drivers are all strapped in and ready to go for 100 laps of battle here. Stewart Equipment 100 at Sauble Speedway. Into the second half of the season, just 4 more races to go. J.R. Fitzpatrick is the point leader. He holds a 13-point gap over Kyle Steckley. 14 back is Shea Gelman. Don't sleep on Andrew Gressel. He's 18 back. Stoddy at 28 back. Rick Spencer-Waltz at 35 back. It's not impossible, but the problem is they got to pass so many guys in the standings to do it. Again, never say never, but those 2 guys probably just trying to do all they can here in the late going, as well as Benedict and Shaw. Maybe sneak up into the top 5 in points.
For everybody except J.R. Fitzpatrick, they've just got to have tunnel vision. Do what you do on a given night. Get the most you can. If you're J.R. Fitzpatrick, it's time to think about points championships and not risking your race car. That's not a comfortable spot for J.R. Fitzpatrick. It's not the way he drives.
13 points isn't many, and we've still got 4 races left, though. So I understand what you're saying. He says he wants to keep the 22 in the out the front windshield, keep track of where he is. But, again, that can change so quick. You know, a couple laps later, you could go from a 1-point deficit to a 10-point deficit. So, and all of a sudden now your point lead's wiped out, and everybody's starting scratch going into the final 3 races. So, again, a long ways from over. multiple guys that could take a crack at this. And if any driver were to go out and win 3 of 4, and not name J.R. Fitzpatrick, I don't know if it matters what J.R. does at that point.
No, you're exactly right. A lot left to go. Yellow flag being displayed by Sean Gibbs up in the flag stand.
Of course, we're back in action 2 weeks from tonight. At Sunset Speedway, August 13th. Also, round 4 of the Quick Wick Series that evening. So the Ontario Super Stocks of the Quick Wick Series will join us 2 weeks from tonight. Then Saturday, August 27th, the week before Labor Day, back in action here at Sauble Speedway. And then Saturday, September 24th, we will close it out as part of the big, great Canadian race weekend at Delaware Speedway. Pinty stuff on tap. Lots of OSCAR action. Quick Wick Championship will be decided on the Friday night, and the Late Model Championship decided on the Saturday night.
They call the NASCAR Pinty Series race that weekend the Pinty's Fall Brawl, and it lives up to its name quite often.
We saw jack stands into windshields last year. Saw a whole lot of hurt feeling reports being dropped off at the tech shed. Don't know if Daryl's got to the end of those yet.
It's an emotional sport, this car racing, and I think we'll probably see a little bit of emotion here tonight. But race fans, if you will, let's show these drivers some emotion. When they come out of turn number 4, they're going to be waving to you. Let's get up on our feet. Let's grab your hat, grab your program, grab whatever is nearby. Give these drivers a wave. They're going to be waving back at you. Fabulous crowd here at Sauble Speedway.
There's not many empty seats down there, Adam.
No, there's not. And I'll tell you, we talk about superstitious drivers. I'll tell you about a superstition. Any driver who doesn't wave on the wave lap has bad things coming to them. It's the one thing you got to do.
I've never heard that before, but I'm sure there's bad juju associated with it.
It's all there is to it. Now, Colton Everingham, he can reach out the left side window of that 48. He could actually peel the roof number off the car. His arms are so long.
Probably wave out the right if he wanted to. We'll see how he does. He had he's had a couple tastes of APC Series action so far. Got his feet wet at Delaware a little earlier on this year. This is kind of back to the type of track he grew up on, being from the Sunset area.
And I think this is a perfect racetrack to come out to, and he's actually fortunate to be starting in the last row. Just get up to speed, run some laps, feel how things feel.
The good news is you're not going to get run over from behind.
No, exactly. Paul Douglas up in the flag stand, going to wave this green flag over the field, I believe.
Jordan House and the 29 of Flying Ryan Kimball on the front row. We saw Kimball lead many laps here last year. Had a 30-40 lap run as the leader on one of the events here last year at Sauble Speedway. Off turn 4 they come. Stewart's Equipment 100 getting set to get underway, and they are on it. House side by side with Kimball through 1 and 2 for the lead.
Whoa, Jordan House couldn't keep that car down, slides up the racetrack. He's got a lift. That allows Kimball out in front, and Dale Shaw going to take advantage. Drive to the bottom in the NTN 83.
Heck of a job by Shaw to sneak in there and get to the inside of Jordan House. He'll try to take that runner-up spot, but House keeps him pinched down off turn 2. They're side by side into 3.
Out in front is Ryan Kimball with a couple of car length advantage over the side-by-side battle between Shaw in the 83 and Jordan House in the 8. They are double wide a lot through this field. Normally you see them single out a lot quicker than this, but there's 2 good grooves here at Sauble Speedway.
One of the tracks that we go to where you will see 2 solid grooves. You can make it work here on the outside at Sauble, and you're seeing Jordan House doing that right now. It looks like he's going to hold off the advances of Shaw for the time being. He will clear the NTN machine, get in line now. Shaw's coming under fire from the outside with Rick Spencer-Walt.
Top 5 sorting things out. Rick Spencer-Walt still up there on the high side because Andrew Gresel's digging hard on the bottom. That 81 of Gresel, he's not going to fall in line just yet. He wants that 4th spot. A little bit of contact with Rick Spencer-Walt.
Walt and the Sauble Beach Road Warrior going at it through 1 and 2. That's the battle for 4th. Right behind Dale Shaw. Great view from the drone. They get inches away from each other. What a battle between the 81 and the 31. Down the front stretch, they rumble. They've been side by side in lockstep like this for about 4 laps now.
Further back, a side-by-side battle between Gord Shepard and Sean Chenoweth. Matt Critico almost made it 3 wide last time out of turn 4. Gressel and Rick Spencer-Walt continue to battle side-by-side, door-to-door for that 4th position.
Somebody forgot to tell Rick Spencer-Walt and the 81 of Gressel that pace laps are over. They can get single file. They continue to go door handle to door handle through 3 and 4. This time it's the 81 of Gressel by half a car length at the line, but Rick Spencer-Walt not done in the outside groove.
Wow! Gressel got squirrely coming off of turn number 2. They ran out of racetrack. Rick Spencer-Walt had to lift. The inside opens up to Shea Gemmel.
Shea Gemmel is doing some beating on the back bumper of that 81 now. He will move to the inside of Rick Spencer-Walt. Gressel has cleared that now. Action picking up for second, where House and Shaw are going at it. Now you see Gemmel in the 3, still working to the inside of the 81.
Andrew Gressel just not able to hug the bottom of the racetrack through the turn. Shea Gemmel in that 3 machine absolutely is. So Gressel's got to get that car turning. He's got to figure something out or he's going to get gobbled up by the pack. It's an aggressive lot behind him. And Rick Spencer-Walt still hung up on the high side. Fitzpatrick now down low on the 31.
Well, we've seen some guys tonight, Adam, with good cars able to make a pass on the outside. I don't think that's 81 is good enough to work on the outside. He could be in trouble now. Gemmel's got to his left side, and they are lined up behind Gemmel to take a crack at the Road Warrior. It's going to be Steckley now sticking his nose in there as well as Gemmel clears the 81.
Andrew Gressel doing everything he can up there, but like you say, he just doesn't have the speed to be effective on the high side. J.R. Fitzpatrick now going to drive to the inside, sends it down into the corner behind the 22 at Steckley.
Your point leader to the inside of the 81, and Fitzpatrick doing just what he said he was going to do, keeping that 22 in the out the front window, keeping track of where Steckley is, all while working with Andrew Gressel into 1.
Further back, we had contact between Blair Wickett and Danny Benedict that last lap. It really bottled things up behind them. They have sorted themselves out now. Dale Shaw starting to look racy again, looking to make a move on the 8 of Jordan House. They worked through 1 and 2. Shaw really coming off the corner strong.
So Shaw pressing that issue with the 8 of House, and watching that 84, your point leader of Fitzpatrick. We'll see now that he's cleared Gressel. If he can reel in the 22 of Steckley, he's about 5 car lengths back right now, has not been able to close yet, but we'll see if Steckley gets bottled up as him and Gemmel catch the 2nd and 3rd place battle. Oh, Stoddy just got the 81 sideways off turn 4.
A couple of drivers very familiar with Sauble Speedway, both of them former champions here at the racetrack. They know just where to make a bump if you want to make a pass.
A lot of laps racing against each other here at the quarter mile. You see the Ridgeline Lubricants machine. The 17 of primetime Josh Stoddy, he will waltz on by the 81 of Gressel.
Oh, Gressel gets him back into the back bumper of the 17. Not able to get him squirrely enough to make a move, and then he missed on turn number 2. He'll fall back a couple of car lengths. Further up, Dale Shaw's doing everything he can to set up Jordan House. He knows he's got Shea Gemmel right behind him, so he's got to be careful not to open the door for Gemmel.
And we haven't focused on J.R. Fitzpatrick in 5 or 6 laps. He's now caught that battle for second. You're looking at 5 cars fighting from second on back to 6th. It includes House and Gemmel now. Get Shaw kicked up to the outside of the racetrack. Give 3rd spot to Shea Gemmel.
That was a real physical pass by Shea Gemmel. He used a lot of front bumper there. When you can see the hood of the race car buckle a little bit, you know they're really pushing the car in front of them, and that's what Gemmel did to open the door on Dale Shaw.
Well, Shaw is hurting now. He is bleeding spots on the outside. First it was Gemmel, then it was Steckley. Now Fitzpatrick to his left side. Off turn 2 down the backstretch. And again, the race for 5th spot. Shaw has it, but give it to your point leader, J.R. Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, the smart move for Dale Shaw right there was to let Fitzpatrick go. He had a big opening behind him to fall in line behind Fitzpatrick. No point in using up race car to battle for that spot. It's a long race.
And now you see your leaders working through lap traffic. The 79 of James Horner the first one to go a lap down. And out front, still all the 29, Flying Ryan Kimball in that SMG Motorsports J-Bex Construction entry. Having a great run here as we close in on 30 laps.
Deeper in the field, Sean Chenoweth in a bad spot in that 89C. Hung up on the outside of Connor James. James has Tom Gibbons right behind him. Sean McGlynn right up on the back bumper of Gibbons. So Sean Chenoweth could be in trouble.
There's your point leader doing what he has to do. J.R. Fitzpatrick sitting fifth. 1.7 seconds behind the leader. The 29 of Flying Ryan Kimball. They all run nose to tail. Now your first five seem to be in one group. Then it's a couple car lengths back to Dale Shaw in sixth.
Much like a slow-moving accordion, the top five is now compressed back together. Jordan House within striking distance of the race leader, Ryan Kimball. Kimball's had things all his way here in the early going in the 29, and just like that, we are 30 laps into the Stewart's Equipment 100.
Well, Shaw sits sixth right now, but look who's running seventh. That's 17. The Ridgeline Lubricants Canadian Flat Roof Systems entry. Prime time, Josh Stoddy. He would love to win in his first APC race, and he would like nothing better than to do it here at his home track. Sit in seventh and track it down Dale Shaw.
Oh, trouble in turn number 4. Gord Shepard in the 10S. That car snapped around on him down there. And you can see he did hit the wall with the left front tire. That was an unusual spin. That came around so quick, it almost looked like he got into fluid or cut down a right rear, but it looks from here like the right rear has air in it. Clinton Jeffrey taking the long run over to turn 4. Gord Shepard was having a solid run. I think he was running up in and around the 12th spot or so. He had a bad wreck at Sunset Speedway earlier this year on the back straightaway.
And they're out of it. Shepard's out of there. He saw Clinton coming and took off.
Yeah, he just wanted to wait until Clinton had that full run, and then he was going to drive away. So, Clinton Jeffrey, what do you see?
No, I'm just kidding. He's all right. Everything looked good back there. I don't see any issues. Just a bit of catching his breath. If anything, we see a little bit of fluid here on the track where he rested, but that just be a bit of overflow. And Shepard will take the 10S back to the pits, guys.
And apparently, we call our Fast Eddie stuff on-air gear. Clinton's calling his workout gear tonight.
That's right. Fast Eddie's makes us look way better than we should look. Like we are meant for radio.
You and I have a face for it, hands down. There you see Shepard on the Gamble cam getting into the wall there on the speed shot. Just, yeah, like you said, just snapped around on him.
It's a little bit slower than I remember it watching that spin there, but did make a bit of contact. Look at the crowd here at Sauble Speedway. I mean, that's amazing. Thank you so much for making the trip out. There's nothing like being here to smell it, to feel it. And let's set the field for the race fans, because it took about 15 laps for the field to settle in from the start of the race, double wide. It took so long. Ryan Kimball got out quickly in the lead in that 29. Jordan House did a nice job in the 8 to fight for position and maintain his spot. Shea Gemmel in the 3 runs in the 3rd spot. The 22 at Kyle Steckley is 4th. Rounding out the top 5 is the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick. 6th through 10th, the 83 of Dale Shaw, the 17, Josh Stoddy, the 81, Andrew Gressel, 31 of Rick Spencer Walton, the 54 of Danny Benedict.
11th to be the 97 of Blair Wickett, 12th Junior Farley in the 72, 13th Matt Pritico. Surprising we haven't seen much more noise out of that 21 here tonight. 14th Billy Schwarzenberg, 15th Connor James, 16th Tom Gibbons, 17th is Sean McGlynn, 18th Eric Dellariva, 19th Sean Chenoweth, and 20th final car on the track. And all the cars are on the lead lap. Colton Everingham out of Innisfil. On the move so far, Shea Gemmel, he's already picked up 4 spots here in the early going, up into 3rd. Again, we have seen him on the podium as of late. 2nd place finish at Delaware. Back on July 1st weekend, another podium finish at Flamborough. And again, he wanted nothing more than to get back to Sauble because he knows he can win here. He's done it before. It was all the way back in 2019, but Seems like he's got his program ironed out, pointed in the right direction. There's no reason tonight can't be the night for that 3 car.
You're absolutely right. How about Ryan Kimball going to restart on the outside of the front row? We're going to do a quick fire it up where you can enjoy the sounds of the APC late models. We can tell you Gord Shepard's car still being worked on back there in the pits. They had the hood up. They had the right side up. Coming back onto the racetrack, looks like James Horner and Sean Chenoweth going to rejoin the field.
Another one who made a pit stop, Jake Sheridan in the 52. So obviously that machine's still not up to snuff. We'll see what kind of adjustments they made on it and see if it comes to life here.
How's it possible that the sun went down and it got hotter in here? So
I'm a race car announcer, not a thermonuclear scientist.
Wow.
Like
That was a few syllables strung together. 1 to go. Next time out of turn number 4, it'll be quick, fire it up. You're not a thermonuclear engineer, but you think you can figure out that window mount air conditioner?
Not a chance. Can you unplug it and plug it back in? If that doesn't work, I call somebody.
Well, so much for that fired up, but Shea Gemmel in that number 3 just never came up to speed. Few cars getting knocked around. One of them was Eric Della Riva in that 74, and I mean, there was just nothing for anyone to do there.
Well, and Adam, I'm surprised till it took all the way till turn 2 before Shea got run over or run into. Like it should have happened going into 1. Again, big problems on that 3 car.
What do you think it is, guys? The car's rolling under its own. Looks like all the tires are up. Strange.
I would imagine it's a transmission issue.
Yeah.
That is my guess.
Yeah, or clutch, Adam. They're trying to get it to drive off, and it's just not going.
Stopped. Tough break for Shea Gemmel. He's had such a good night. Again, coming up a couple podium finishes.
But how lucky is he and the rest of this field that we did not have disaster there, because he was right at the front. Everybody did a good job of separating to get around the 3. Push vehicle en route to the Canusa number 3 here in just a moment, and we'll see what happens.
That could have been far worse than it actually was.
Everyone in the whole field who was happy about being either on the inside or the outside is now going to be ticked off because the one driver in the top 5 leaves. Now you're going to be in the opposite row. So they'll sort through this starting order.
Hey, but if you got a good car, we've seen guys be able to make those moves on the outside here tonight.
It's there. I mean, 2-wide racing on a track like this requires both drivers racing side by side to sort of agree to work it out. If you don't have cooperation, it's not going to work.
So we got the air conditioner in the booth plugged in. The track lights are still on. This is good.
Well, with you and I both talking in here, that's a lot of hot air being blown around.
The low-hanging fruit. 31 down.
There's a joke. I could go somewhere with that low-hanging fruit joke, but I don't think I'm going to. It's not often I take the high road, but you're welcome.
So far, we haven't talked about the leader too much. The J-Bex construction machine. I mean, he was able to pull out to a comfortable lead over Jordan House, the 29 of Ryan Kimball there in the early going.
I'll give you my opinion on the 29 of Kimball. We've seen him start at the front quite a bit. We've seen him with a ton of speed. It doesn't have that cruising speed that you can run out front without overworking the car. So it just seems that when he runs out front, he's got to use so much of the race car to do it that by the time someone comes along who can really challenge him, he's used up a bit of that car. He's looking really good tonight. Like, he doesn't look like that car is exerting itself. He's just hitting his marks, running his line. Could be a good night for Ryan Kimball.
And we'll see. Again, Ryan Kimball's a champion many times over. We'll see how much he's learned, from, again, last year he came here and led 30, 40 laps, and then the car went away from him. pole at Flamborough. Fastest car, in qualifying. Fast again here tonight. The question is, do they have the 100-lap setup and into the 50-lap setup? That just seems to be the question with Ryan Kimball.
He's
taking the high line here too, though.
Yeah, he's showing a lot of moxie restarting on the outside. I love that decision. It shows some trust in Jordan House on the inside.
Jordan House has been at this, even though he's a young kid, he's been at this for a while. He's a APC winner at Sunset Speedway last year. And off turn 4 they come. Kimball gets to jump by half a car length down into 1. He'll pinch House. House really has to get on the binders, and that'll allow the 29 to squirt away off turn 2.
Really nice restart by Ryan Kimball, able to position himself up there where Jordan House couldn't really go anywhere. Now House going to try to fend off J.R. Fitzpatrick. They're side by side for second.
Not just Fitzpatrick, he's got the 22 of Steckley beating down the door as well. Now Fitzpatrick to the outside, not really keeping track of where that 22 is now. He's hunting the lead off turn 4.
J.R. Fitzpatrick noses ahead of the 8 of Jordan House on the front straightaway. They're still door-to-door through 1 and 2. Fitzpatrick going to edge out ahead. He'll clear the 8 of Jordan House and set his sails on the 29 of Ryan Kimball, the top 3 single file. Behind that, all double file action.
He caught Kimball in a hurry. Right to the bumper of that 29 goes your point leader. That battle is on for 4th. The youngster Kyle Steckley out of Milverton on the bottom. Chesley's Josh Stoddy up top. Off 4 they come, and they can't go anywhere because Jordan House is using both crews up in front of him. Those two are faster side by side than House is by himself.
Let's rewind to Peterborough Speedway, and we are under yellow for a wreck in turn number 2. And
Tom Gibbons down there.
Smoke and steam out of the 10 of Tom Gibbons.
Well, guys, the 48 just drove right into the back of them into 1. Not sure if he lost brakes or what the situation was, but the Evernham 48 just got all up into the back of the Shepherd 10S, and that got a piece of Gibbons as well.
It looks like Gibbons is mostly unscathed down here.
No, he's got problems on the left rear, Adam.
Okay.
At least the left rear flat. We'll get over and check out what else is up.
So this changes things, but remember last month in Peterborough, when Ryan Kimball held off J.R. Fitzpatrick for a while, and he had to go on the defensive big time.
Could get a sequel on that right here. Kimball, your leader. Fitzpatrick 2nd. House in 3rd, Stoddy 4th. And that was a good battle between the 17 of Stoddy and the 22 of Steckley there for 4th spot.
Well, at the very least, guys, flat left rear here on the Gibbons 10. Some nose damage on the hood as well, but that's not a big problem. We wait to see if it's just a flat left rear or not. We'll bring you more as soon as we know it.
Yeah, that's an ugly looking left rear that's gone down for Tom Gibbons, that 10 machine, so he'll need the hook from the back.
It's got a nasty dent in it. I don't know if we're still on it, Adam, but
yeah,
you can see right here, a nasty dent. I don't know what would have caused that, but we'll wait and see as the wreckers will pick up the 10 CarQuest machine here.
And the only hope right now is that nothing got bent in the back end when he got hit there.
No, absolutely right. It had been a good race to this point. Drivers was showing some give and take, which is necessary here at Sauble Speedway.
I don't see anything else wrong under the car, guys, other than this left rear and the bent up rim. We'll see how they get this one out of here and if Tom can get back into it.
So they throw the red flag to give the safety crew room to work. It takes up a lot of space down there in 1 and 2, and the track is just not that wide. So they'll go red momentarily. It looks like we're going to go back to yellow now.
I got him here. Tom, looks like just a left rear. What's the game plan?
Guys are getting the tire ready right now, so once the tow truck gets his left rear, we'll be right back out.
All right, so they're going to plan to fix this one out, and they figure they'll be right back out. Quickie stop for these guys.
Oh, what a great job you do, Clinton. You know, we get to see coverage like this during, the hockey all-star game. They'll have reporters on the benches. Racing is been like this for so long, but how many sports are able to talk to the competitors in the middle of the action?
You know what, my theory, and I've done a lot of the pit road stuff at Delaware over the years, my theory on that is if the car stopped, and there's a driver in it, stick a mic in there. You know, if they got to go, they'll let you know.
No, you're so right. And 9 times out of 10, it's very rare a driver does not want to talk. They're great about it.
I like the heated ones, too. You get the best sound bites that way.
Let's take a quick break on GeForce TV while they remove Tom Gibbons, and we'll be back with more from Sauble Speedway.
For the first time ever on dirt, Canada's National Stock Car Series visits Ohsweken Speedway on August 16th. Witness history in the making as NASCAR's Pinty Series takes on the dirt in the Pinty 100.
I've always had the spirit that I wanted to invent something new. And so when we got into clothing, I got immersed into it. And the only way that you would really understand how to build clothing is to become a pattern maker. That pattern maker concept started becoming very interesting to me because I went, I can make this better. Love it. Absolutely love designing. Doesn't matter whether it's a garment or an engine or a car, decals on our race cars. I love doing that. That's my forte.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
Welcome back to Sauble Speedway. The Stewart's Equipment 100 is 34 laps in. Colton Everingham in the 48 comes back onto the racetrack after that crew makes some repairs, removes some bodywork from the right front corner of that race car. The field doubling up, and Ryan Kimball with J.R. Fitzpatrick in second place is still going to elect to restart on the outside.
Question is, how much did J.R. Fitzpatrick learn from watching that last restart? Got to make sure he doesn't get pinched as hard as Jordan House did if he wants to take this lead when we get going. We've seen how strong that 29 is on the restart on the outside. Held serve last time around and was able to, again, keep Jordan House pinched down so much into one that House almost had to bring the car to a stop to get it to turn in the corner, and that allowed the 29 to go. But we'll see what the 84 does. Different cat on the outside here.
And it happens on the straightaway, the approach to turn one. Right there where Ryan Kimball is on the 84 Fitzpatrick, that's where he wants to be going into the turn. Don't let JR get his right front any farther ahead than the number on the 29. That allows Ryan Kimball to dictate the line going through the turn and pinch him down. If JR has his right front even with the left front of Kimball, JR dictates the line going through 1 and 2. Tom Gibbons back on the ground. And I believe we'll see the 1 to go as he rejoins the tail end of the field.
Good to see that 10 of Gibbons back out there. Local favorite here at Sauble Speedway from nearby Southampton.
There's a lot of nice guys in racing, but I don't know if there's anyone nicer in racing than Tom Gibbons. Let's try this again. Quick, fire it up out of turn number 4. Kimball doing about as well as you can on the outside there, and there Fitzpatrick bobbled down into turn number 1. That allows Kimball to roll out ahead. What a job by Ryan Kimball to fight off the most dominant driver of the 2022 season.
Right behind that, while that was going on, 17 Estati able to capture third spot on the outside to Jordan House. He's tucked in a line, and he slammed the door on House, backed the whole field up in 3 and 4 a couple laps ago. Luckily, they all made it through. They are single file the front 5. First battle on the Speedway, side by side, is for 6th to 22 of Steckley in the 81 of Gressel.
Andrew Gressel fighting hard on the high side, but he's going to bail out and drop in behind Steckley. Behind them, Dale Shaw side by side on the inside in that 83 with the 54 of Danny Benedict as J.R. Fitzpatrick gets a nose under the 29 of Ryan Kimball. Couldn't make it stick that time out of 2. Kimball right now, he's starting to overdrive that 29 car. Just like we said, he goes down in the turn, slides up half a lane, tries to close the door on J.R. Fitzpatrick. What he needs to do is get on the brakes, get the car settled down into the turn. He's got to get back into a rhythm. He did a great job right there doing that.
JR able to point that car to the inside of Kimball off the corners. You see him doing it again. Gets it pointed down to the bottom. This time he's got a nose in there. He's to the wheel. He's to the number down into 3 and 4.
Kimball doing it right. He's up on the high side, but still keeping J.R. Fitzpatrick pinched to the bottom. He'll do the same thing down into 1 and 2, trying to keep J.R. down. J.R. Fitzpatrick keeping it clean right now. There's not a mark on that 29 machine so far on the left side as they battle side by side off of turn 4.
Closing in on the halfway point, and that's when business will pick. Oh, this time contact between the 84 and the 29. Kimball up the speedway. The 84 of Fitzpatrick fills that hole, and this one is a long ways from over.
Ryan Kimball doing a masterful job right now up on the high side. Really making the most of his corner exits, keeping the straightaways long. He gets that car arced so he can get back to the throttle. But J.R. Fitzpatrick, man, that 84 machine is fast.
How hard is the 84 of Fitzpatrick having to work his tires on that inside groove? And the beneficiary of this could be sitting in 3rd. Caution out, we got
Matt Pritico.
Spun in turn 4. Whew. The 4 of Connor James in the infield.
Oh, Ryan Kimball pulls ahead of J.R. Fitzpatrick and carves the wheel hard left. Couple of drivers racing hard for the lead.
I think they bumped once, but for the amount of time they were side by side, wasn't bad.
No, and I'll tell you, Clinton Jeffrey, what do you see down there?
Connor James just trying to get out of the infield here. He drives the 4 car away. I was just going to mention, you know, this incident between Pritico and James. A month ago, we saw them on the backstretch at Delaware, and James got busted up pretty good, hurt his arm a bit, but looks like James is going to stay on the track. Pritico heading back to the pits, and guys, if there's anybody who needs some luck this year, boy, is it ever Matt Pritico in the 21.
Yeah, both of them really. Pritico and Connor James could use some good fortune. But I love that battle with J.R. Fitzpatrick. How about that race, fans? How are we enjoying the J.R. Fitzpatrick, Ryan Kimball battle for the lead? Some hard-nosed stock car racing. Kimball's got some real racecraft out there in that 29 machine.
So the question here, does he give up the bottom again?
I think he does. I think on the outside, J.R. Fitzpatrick can make that 84 work, and the 29 saw. J.R. Fitzpatrick has the best car on the track right now. At this point in this race, he has shown that he can move forward. He made most of his passes on the outside, so if you're Ryan Kimball's spotter, you got to let him know that. The 84 moved up a lot when he started on the outside, so you might be better off pinching him down to the bottom. Rick Spencer-Walt going to restart in row number 2 in that 31W. He'll be alongside Josh Stoddy in the 17. Jordan House hanging in there in the top 5 in that 8 machine. Kyle Steckley going to restart 3rd row outside in that 22. Couple of drivers that were closer to the front. They've had their battles. Andrew Gressel in the 81. Dale Shaw in the 83. We're 44 laps into this 100-lap Stewart's Equipment 100. Connor James taking his position at the back of the field in the 4 machine as an involved car. Sean Gibbs says, okay, boys and girls. Well, just boys. Double up.
Connor Everham, you saw the damage on the right front of that car. And so far, though, Adam, all those cars in the top 10, 12 looking pretty good. Looking like they were before we even got going here tonight.
they're doing a good job. As we say, lots of give and take out there. Junior Farley with some speed in that 72. Same with Blair Wickett in the 97. Some drivers that could use some good fortune. Of course, Blair Wickett had that expensive wreck at Flamborough Speedway when he tore the rear end out of the race car. So Ryan Kimball and J.R. Fitzpatrick as the pace truck pulls off. Kimball allowing Patrick to roll out ahead. Look at this. He slows right down. Let Fitzpatrick get out there. So Kimball's going to try to roll all the way around the outside because Fitzpatrick has to wait for the 29 before he's able to go.
They fire, and Kimball gets a great jump. He's going to try to slam the door on Fitzpatrick. Won't be able to do it in 1 and 2. Here comes Rick Spencer-Walt, the 31W to the high side.
Great start by flying Ryan Kimball up on the high side. He'll take the lead, and Rick Spencer-Walt with a good run to the outside, battle for second.
Fitzpatrick on the bottom. Rick Spencer-Walt chases him high, wide, and handsome. And now Fitzpatrick will clear him, but Walt's not done messing with the outside groove. He's going to take another crack at Fitzpatrick off turn 4. What a battle for second.
J.R. Fitzpatrick is leaving that lane out there. He knows Rick Spencer-Walt has a run. He knows Rick Spencer-Walt's assertive enough to keep his car there. But Fitzpatrick will clear the 31 for second. Now Rick Spencer-Walt's going to have some work to do to get down in front of Josh Stoddy in the 17.
Stoddy's still there to the inside of Spencer-Walt. Now battle for the lead down the backstretch. Fitzpatrick pokes the nose to the inside. He's going to drive it in deep into 3 and 4. He scoots the 29 up the speedway just a bit, but Kimball holds the spot for now.
Ryan Kimball in that 29 machine. 48 laps, the lap leader. Almost halfway through the Stewart's Equipment 100. Lots of speed under that 29, but the 84 is pretty quick as well. Fitzpatrick enters turn number 1 high, comes off at turn number 2 a little bit lower, trying to make a run into 3.
29 of Kimball just fast enough coming out of the corner that Fitzpatrick unable to get the drive. The cross flags are out from starter Sean Gibbs. We are halfway through this one. Flying Ryan Kimball, your leader. Fitzpatrick second. Josh Stoddy runs third. And battle heating up for fourth.
And same thing, Kimball's got to get that car settled down into the corner. Fitzpatrick is not likely to stove into the back of the 29 of Kimball, so if he's got to slow down a little bit more just to plant that car on the bottom, that's what he's going to have to do. Fitzpatrick is playing around with his entry, trying to get that speed up off the turn, but he hasn't been able to do it just yet.
Hasn't been able to get enough of a run to get by the 29. Now the 29 of Kimball again starting to leak off the bottom of that bottom groove in the corners. He's getting about a quarter of the way up. We've got Rick Spencer-Walt in trouble now.
Yeah, Rick Spencer-Walt got squirrely off of turn number 2. I'm not sure if he had help from Jordan House, but House was quick to drive to the inside. Up front, JR does give a bit of a poke to the 29 going into the corner, but Ryan Kimball...
81 at Gressel just got into the door of Shaw. There's a big mess in 3 and 4.
I think most cars are going to be okay there. Billy Schwarzenberg slid in. Blair Wickett slid in the 97. I don't believe it was significant contact.
A lot of smoke from the 72 of Junior Farley. Might just be a flat tire. He has gone pit side and...
Oh, Billy Schwarzenberg's pretty tore up. Eric Della Riva with damage in the 74.
I was going to say the Della Riva 74, that left front looks pushed back a bit, guys.
You should see the right side, Clint.
Oh, yeah? Okay. We'll get over there shortly. The Wickett 97 shortened up about 2 feet in the back end.
And that all started. Andrew Gressel saw the opening on Shaw. Wasn't in there, but was.
You know, you take the look. Are we looking at a replay here way up the top of the screen? It becomes a parking lot right between 3 and 4.
By then it already happened. Schwarzenberg tried to get on the brakes and slid sideways into Wickett. I think the speed shot gives us the best look at it.
Looked like Eric Della Riva maybe climbing out of that 74 machine.
Yeah, he's done, guys. This one is all beat up on the right side. If you can see it here, all the body panel's gone. Even the rear window has been knocked out of the car. All kinds of situations. The exhaust pushed back and Della Riva out of the car, obviously not happy at all. Both sides and all corners on this one tore up. We'll try and get in there with Eric in a moment once he gets the gear off.
So before the season, when we did our media day, we asked every driver if there was a movie made based on their life, who would play the role of them Eric De La Riva didn't even waste a second. He said, Michael Cera. When you see this interview with Eric De La Riva, I want you to picture Michael Cera.
Eric, certainly not the way you want to be talking to us tonight. All sides of this car tore up. What happened here in turn number 3?
Just didn't check up in time. Just didn't see him stopped on the racetrack in the middle of 3 and 4, and obviously hate it. Tear up the car first time this year, and it was okay. We were trying to work our way forward, but yeah, we'll come back and get him at sunset.
We appreciate your time, Eric. Get a look at your mangled machine here as the 74 car is beat up, guys. Big time problems all the way around here.
Well, I think the 81 might have been in there.
Yeah, and can't be too hard on himself. I mean, those accidents are hard to avoid. There's a lot going on. Do you know who Michael Cera is?
I was just going to say, no, I know who Tom Cruise is. I know who Kenny Rogers is. Who else has played in racing movies?
Burt Reynolds.
Sylvester Stallone. That was a dandy. Maybe it wasn't that good.
Let's take a quick break here on G-Force TV, and we'll be right back with more from Sauble Speedway.
I've always had the spirit that I wanted to invent something new. And so when we got into clothing, I got immersed into it in the only way that you really understand how to build clothing is to become a pattern maker. That pattern maker concept started becoming very interesting to me because I went, I can make this better. Love it. Absolutely love designing. Doesn't matter whether it's a garment or an engine or a car, decals on our race cars. I love doing it. That's my forte.
For the first time ever on dirt, Canada's National Stock Car Series visits Ohsweken Speedway on August 16th. Witness history in the making as NASCAR's Pinty Series takes on the dirt in the Pinty's 100.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
Welcome back to Sauble Speedway, where Colton Everingham is doing a bit of a striptease for us tonight. Every yellow flag he goes into the pits, they take a little bit more of the bodywork off. So,
looking more and more like a modified. He'll be able to show up for the Oscar show in a few weeks.
It's like when Foghorn Leghorn, isn't he the one that gets all his feathers ripped off? Has to tiptoe back into the roost.
Boy.
People who grew up with those cartoons were just raised different. Better.
Different.
So Everingham sans hood on the 48 machine now. But I believe, let's see if he's still on the lead lap. Danny Benedict down in the pits. We're looking from the camera up in turn 3, I believe.
Spoiler's still looking good on Colton's car.
Well, that matters.
See Dale Shaw and Wickett pulling back out. Benedict has stopped. They're working on the right rear of that Mobil 154 machine.
Colton Everingham and James Horner both still on the lead lap. They've taken some trips down into the pits, but good for them. They're hanging in there, which is what you got to do. Blair Wickett in the 97 Vincent Lawn Equipment sponsored entry, about to make his way back onto the racetrack. So is Dale Shaw.
And Horner did get lapped in that early green flag run we had. Must have picked up a lucky dog along the way in that custom forming 79 out of Fraserville.
We're beyond halfway in this one, 52 laps down, 48 laps to go. That last restart, in fact, Spencer, if you could clip that from the 1 to go signal until the green flag, that was a clinic on how to restart a race. Ryan Kimball did it beautifully. Fitzpatrick, you can see He's trying to mess with him. He's trying to get Ryan Kimball out of a rhythm. Kimball did it perfect, stayed behind the 84 because he knew at some point JR was going to have to lift to let Kimball out. As soon as he got off it, Kimball's hammered down and took off.
And they, you know what? Both of them have played these games for a long, long time. It's just Kimball has the advantage of being the leader right now.
It is a great advantage. Make no mistake. But
Here you see it with the 1 to go.
Okay, so last time, and that's what we're looking at. Watch what JR does. JR's ahead of the 29. 29's going to pull out, mess around. But JR's, no you don't. I'm going to get out in front and I'm going to play with you here. So Ryan Kimball, as long as he doesn't show JR the nose again, he's in control. So JR's a wheel ahead. He can't be a wheel ahead coming to the restart. And I'm sorry for you in the stands, you're not seeing this replay, but he's still a wheel ahead until halfway through 3 and 4 when Kimball decided to go. By the time JR realized what's happening, Kimball's rolled ahead of the 84 and has so much momentum he has him cleared by turn 1.
3/4 of the car length, almost got him completely cleared down to 1 and 2.
It's a fun exercise to watch, folks. And if you're used to coming to the races, check it out on any double file restart. If you are on the outside of the pole sitter, you want to have your left front ahead of their right front. If the pole sitter's on the outside, you're kind of screwed there. But the rule of thumb, if you're starting in second, to even make it fair, you got to keep your left front ahead of their right front, or they're just going to dust you down the front stretch.
Again, you see the 29 of Kimball giving that lower lane up to your point leader, J.R. Fitzpatrick. And it looks like Danny Benedict has made it back out.
Yeah, most of them that went in, with the exception of Eric Della Riva, I believe, made it back onto the racetrack. So let's watch.
I think we're short Billy Schwarzenberg, too.
Oh, you're right. You're
Damage
right.
on the 86. So
just like last time, they'll play a little bit of games. Kimball out front. Kimball again going to stay out front. This time Fitzpatrick didn't pass him. He knew enough. Don't get ahead of him because you'll be screwed.
Oh, JR had that back end swing out on him. Give Kimball a little bit of an advantage down to the 1 by half a car length. Going to keep JR pinched on the bottom. Side by side down the backstretch now. Half a car length for Kimball, but JR's not done.
No, Kimball slides up the track just a little bit, but so did Fitzpatrick. Side by side down the front stretch. It's Kimball by a foot at the line.
Kimball to the outside of Fitzpatrick again, and what a great view of this battle for young Kyle Steckley sitting third, trying to figure out who to follow with Josh Stoddy breathing down his neck. Now still side by side of the line. Another half car advantage to Kimball.
The challenge JR has is right in the center of the corners, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, where he just can't get the car to turn with his foot on the throttle, and that hesitation allows Ryan Kimball to roll out in front and retake the lead.
Now Fitzpatrick might have bigger problems behind him, the 22. Milverton's Kyle Steckley, second in points, trying to run down your point leader.
And that's a big deal because JR was changing up his entry into the turn, backing up the corner to get a run off. You can't back up the corner if you've got a car right on your back bumper. Fitzpatrick with a good run through 2. Nose to the inside of Kimball for the lead. Nope, can't do it.
Well, Steckley's having the same problem. Well, he's trying to go on the attack on Fitzpatrick. He's got to play defense to the 17 of Josh Stoddy. Fitzpatrick again trying to back up that corner, trying to get a run. This time he looks like he's got a pretty good run. He's going to stick it in there in 3 and 4. Backs out.
Kimball drives it deep down into the turn, lets the car wash up, back to the throttle. He'll retain the lead, and then he slams the door shut. He's really able to shut the door on the front stretch. Turn 3 is where Fitzpatrick seems to be able to keep his nose to the inside.
Again through 3 and 4. Kimball with the jump off the corner. He's going to keep Fitzpatrick at base. Steckley goes third. Josh Stoddy fourth. Rick Spencer Walt fifth. Great battling now. And hey, how about this? After a terrible qualifying effort, numerous trips to the pits, that 52 of Jake Sheridan suddenly appeared on the leaderboard, all the way up into 7th.
Now we're starting to see, much like we did at Peterborough, Ryan Kimball's getting really defensive. He'll come down to the bottom, get the car slowed down. Fitzpatrick contact into the back end of Kimball through turns 3 and 4.
Contact there as Fitzpatrick tries to figure out a way around flying Ryan Kimball with less than 40 laps to go, and you got to bet that right rear on that 29 car is not happy right now.
No, Kimball's really working hard down into 1 and 2. Some laps he just absolutely nails it, and there's not much Fitzpatrick can do, but other times he gets bound up in the middle of the corner, and Fitzpatrick gets a big run.
Another driver that surfaced in this battle for the lead. Sitting 6th, Andrew Gressel. He has joined that lead pack right on the back bumper of Rick Spencer-Walt. Home track driver. Going to take it to Rick Spencer-Walt down in 3 and 4.
Gressel drives to the inside, keeps that track position on the bottom. Spencer-Walt holding him off nicely on the high side. Look at this. Ryan Kimball actually opening a bit of daylight between himself and J.R. Fitzpatrick back in 2nd.
And again, I think the fastest car on the track could be sitting in 7th right now. Jake the Snake is coming. He's fought his way through the back of the pack all the way up to 7th here in the late going for the 52.
Ryan Kimball has been at the front of a lot of races in the APC series, has not been able to seal the deal, but he's looking good out here. Enters turn 1 and 2 on the bottom, keeps the car pinned to the inside. J.R. Fitzpatrick about 2 feet off the back bumper of that 29.
Going to be 33 laps to go at the stripe, just a regular old Saturday night feature left to settle this one between Flying Ryan Kimball and J.R. Fitzpatrick. Grumpy tried to get a run on the bottom, couldn't do it. Now Stoddy's going to pile it into the inside for 3rd of Steckley.
Big move by Josh Stoddy, and he drives it down into the corner, puts the period on the sentence, takes over that 3rd spot. There's a driver who hasn't used up a lot of his stuff. J.R. Fitzpatrick's been working awfully hard. Maybe Stoddy's got a little bit left in the tank.
Yeah, those front two have both been working for that lead for the last 40 laps or so. And the 29, great job by Flying Ryan Kimball. This is the deepest we've seen him ever lead an APC race as we close in on 30 to go this time by.
Look at Connor James as well in that 4 car. Hats off to that driver, the SSG Gloves number 4, running up with his lead pack. He's had his issues tonight, but the car's fast when it matters.
Well, he hooked his wagon to the back of the 52 and just followed Jake Sheridan through the field. He's now up into 8th and having best run of his season. Connor James up into 8th and on the hunt. As a front 8 all strung out single file, Adam, you can't ask for a tighter field up front.
No, you certainly couldn't, and Ryan Kimball really starting to find that groove. He's actually picked up his pace just a little bit out there, or else the other cars have leveled off a bit, but Fitzpatrick with a good run down the back straightaway. He'll get the nose to the inside, but can't make anything happen. Kimball noses back ahead. He'll lead once again with 27 laps to go.
Off turn 2, they fire down the backstretch. Kill Kimball, your leader. Fitzpatrick 2nd, Stoddy 3rd. Then Steckley goes 4th, Gressel 5th, Walt in 6th. And again, you see Sheridan and James coming to join that battle.
If you're Josh Stoddy, what do you do out here? J.R. Fitzpatrick has tried just about everything he can. If you're Gressel and Steckley, you need action ahead of you. They're trying to track down Fitzpatrick in the points. They're not going to do it. A couple of spots behind that 84.
Off turn 2, they fire. Fitzpatrick's going to take another run at Kimball down into 3 and 4. Kimball slams the door shut. Going to hold Fitzpatrick off for another trip to the stripe. Now here comes Fitzpatrick. He's going to pitch it in. 2 wheels in the dirt.
He had to. Ryan Kimball was starting to close the door. Fitzpatrick was there. He steered it down into the dirt, back up onto the racetrack, maintained that 2nd spot, and Fitzpatrick will try to size him up once again.
I think this is going to get physical before the end of this one. Your leader again, the 29 of Kimball. Fitzpatrick 2nd. Here comes Josh Stoddy now getting racy in that 17.
Fitzpatrick really working the angles in the corner. He'll go into turn number 1 way up the racetrack. Try to carve it down to the inside, but Kimball's able to defend. Now he'll go back up to the outside into turn number 3. Try to cross over Kimball on corner exit.
Can't get it done. He's going to have to tuck in line. He'll follow Kimball's tire tracks through 1 and 2. Kimball wheeling that car 20 laps away from his first ever APC win. If he can hold it off, Fitzpatrick trying to collect number 4 on the year.
Kimball just changed his line. I'm not sure if he has a problem with the race car, if he's decided he's going to run the bottom the rest of the way, but I think that's a mistake for the driver of the 29 machine. Opens the door to Fitzpatrick, who taps the wall on the backstretch. Fitzpatrick trying to cross him over. Stoddy was there.
Stoddy got into the back of Fitzpatrick. That started a chain reaction. I believe some contact between Steckley and Stoddy. These front 8 cars now, well, they've broken away. The front 4 are going to decide it for themselves here with less than 20 to go. It's still Kimball, Fitzpatrick, Stoddy, And Steckley.
J.R. Fitzpatrick, I can't imagine he's very happy right now. He's tried everything he can to do this pass clean. It hasn't happened for him, and now Josh Dottie's starting to show the bumper to Fitzpatrick in the 84.
Well, now Fitzpatrick's starting to use that chrome horn on the 29. Did it once, that time through 3 and 4. Another little tap of the bumper off turn 2.
Rick Spencer-Walt to the inside of Andrew Gressel in the battle for the 5th spot, but let's keep our focus at the front of the field on an epic battle between J.R. Fitzpatrick and Ryan Kimball. Josh Stoddy now sticking his nose in there. 4 cars under a blanket racing for first.
Lap traffic could come into play. It's going to be James Horner out of Fraserville. First one on the chopping block. We'll see what the 29 does. And a veteran move by James Horner just right up to the 3rd groove. You 4 go by and go settle it amongst yourselves.
Less than 15 laps remain in the Stewart's Equipment 100. Ryan Kimball, his car will run fantastic for a number of laps, able to keep J.R. Fitzpatrick at bay. Then J.R. will close in and he'll have to adjust his line, but Ryan Kimball's been up to every challenge so far this race.
And how much tire does that 17 have left here? With just over 10 to go. Now Fitzpatrick's going to get into the side of Kimball. He spun the leader. He just turned the leader and wadded up a bunch of cars.
J.R. Fitzpatrick is as patient as you can be, and Jake Sheridan with damage on that race car, lots of smoke coming off. I cannot imagine a situation where Fitzpatrick does not get sent to the back, and that's absolutely what he needed to avoid when the points championship is on the line.
Well, in the beneficiary of this could be the guy sitting in 2nd and 3rd on the racetrack right now, because again, like you say, I don't see how the 84 can't get a black flag out of that one.
Guys, Andrew Gressel in the 81 has got the most damage down here. You guys look at the replay, then we'll assess the situation.
The nose of Fitzpatrick's car was right even with the center line of the rear tire. That was it. I mean, not much more you can say. He stuffed it in there, and again, he'd taken.
Look at this. Look at this from the drone as they go down. And in the age of spotters, he has the line. But you still got to stay off the lid. That's so frustrating. You could almost see from where we are the frustration with J.R. Fitzpatrick. And even in his victory lane interview at Peterborough Speedway, he talked about how frustrating it was to have to battle Ryan Kimball, who was very good at defending. Now, Kimball at the front of the field, he did spin out, right?
Yeah.
Or did
definitely.
he save it?
No, he went around.
Clinton Jeffrey down there assessing the situation as Jordan House gets pushed down through the infield in that 8 machine.
Yeah, he was stuck up in the valley there, just high-sided. He had to get a help out. Andrew Gressel was the biggest loser in that one, guys, obviously other than Ryan Kimball, the leader. But as far as damage goes, the Gressel 81 all tore up on the left front. It was already dragging and shooting sparks since the last restart. We'll see if he can make it back out.
And here's the thing J.R. Fitzpatrick has to be very careful of. He is the championship point leader. You know, the problem is Andrew Gressel's got a credit on the dash from earlier this year. The 29's now got a credit on the dash from tonight. You see the 84 going to the back of the pack.
We don't have a communication from the officials, but we can only assume the 84 going to the back as an involved car.
And they're also telling the 29 to go to the back.
I was going to say, yeah. Obviously Kimball with some race gamesmanship here, pulling up saying, well, I should be the leader, right? No.
There are tracks that run that rule, Clinton. You and I talk about it quite often, the spinner-spinney rule.
But not here on the Big Boy Tour.
Nope.
Now Josh Stoddy, going to be the new leader. We got some fans up there going to be happy about that down in Turn 1.
The Ridgeline folks have come to life in Turn 1.
Race fans, let's hear it. How many Josh Stoddy fans we got in the house tonight?
Quite a few.
How about Kyle Steckley? Who wants to see Kyle Steckley from Milverton take the win? Who wants to see J.R. Fitzpatrick come from 20th to take the victory tonight? You're in trouble.
Connor James up into 4th.
He was making a move to pass the 52 of Jake Sheridan, who we speculated was the fastest car on the racetrack at the time. So Connor James has some speed in that number 4. He's going to restart alongside Rick Spencer-Walt. They have some history this season. but they sorted out their differences with a pizza party. I know this because I saw it on Facebook. It must be true.
Well, it was on the internet. It's got to be true. Shea Gamble, fastest lap of the night. Second fastest lap of the night, Kyle Steckley. Third fastest, Dale Shaw, then Denny Benedict, and then Ryan Kimball. Those are your top 5 drivers in terms of who has run the quickest lap tonight. And again, I got to give a shout out to the boss, Karen. I hope you and your friends up at Wasaga Beach are enjoying the telecast this evening. We'll see you when you get home Sunday or Monday. I'll look after the dogs, make sure the house doesn't burn down. We'll be good.
It's 2022, Jamie. It's a stream.
Oh, yes, the stream.
It used to be streams were just for fishing. You said telecast.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
I'm just
We're
messing.
old. We're old, Adam. I remember adjusting the bunny ears on my black and white.
How about the drivers who have survived tonight? The 89 Cia, Sean Chenoweth, he's got to be frustrated. Well, he is frustrated because he's very active on social media.
Look at Matt Pritico in the 21.
Tom Gibbons in the 10. Remember, he was on the hook just 20 minutes ago being sent into the pits. You avoid the trouble. So this will shake up the points. Coming into today, J.R. Fitzpatrick had a 13-point lead. And that lead was over Kyle Steckley in the 22.
Now, I don't believe JR actually led a lap.
I think they kept going yellow every time he took the lead. Good point. Cars coming back onto the racetrack. Danny Benedict, he's been in there to the attention of his crew a few times. Some of the pretty wore off the right side of that number 54. Colton Everingham. Colton Everingham is running 17th, still on the lead lap. How about that, folks? That's determination by the driver of the 48. One of the biggest race car drivers in the history of the sport. Colton Everingham is a tall dude.
So I just checked in with scoring. Unofficially, J.R. Fitzpatrick did not lead a single lap.
And remember, because he would be considered the cause of that yellow, Fitzpatrick will have to go all the way to the back behind even the other cars that were involved. But when you come to the beach, those are the things that can happen. Josh Dottie in the 17, they've been told to double up. It's not crystal clear whether he's taking the inside or the outside. There you go. Steckley to the high side, and that 22 will put Josh Dottie down low. Rick Spencer-Walt going to restart third in the 31. He's been back and forth through the top 10 tonight. Matt Pritico, this is as close to the front as he's been all evening long.
We've talked about this championship battle. If they were to end right now, Kyle Steckley be your point leader.
Wow. And you remember before the race started, I said, make note who goes to the back, who has problems. Look at Tom Gibbons. Gord Shepard was in the wall in turn number 4. It's just fascinating to see what a driver goes through to secure a top 5 finish here at Sauble. Green flag is back out. Josh Dottie hard on the loud pedal into turn 1.
Prime time, Stottie on the inside. The kid from Milverton on the high side. They'll drag race down the backstretch. Door panel to door panel.
Josh Dottie knows his way around this racetrack. Kyle Steckley, a determined young racer. 3 wide for a moment for that lead. They bump down into turn 1.
Steckley bounced off the 17 down into 1. Rick Spencer-Walt making his presence felt. Closing in on 10 to go. Stottie ships the 22 up the speedway. Opens the bottom door for Walt. Walt can't put his nose in there. They're still side by side.
12 laps to go in this one. The Stewart's Equipment 100 will be one for the record book. Steckley into the wall on the backstretch. Doesn't even lift. Gets the car down off the wall and continues to battle for the lead.
You know how bad that 17 wants it. Rick Spencer-Walt. Gets into the side of Steckley. They make contact. Off goes Stottie. He's got 3, 4, 5 car lengths out front.
Determination by Rick Spencer-Walt after they made contact out of 4. He was not going to be denied the inside lane. Now they'll go back to doing battle wheel to wheel for that second spot. Kyle Steckley rolling the high side pretty well. Matt Pritico had a bobble there in turn 2 that allows Gord Shepard. Whoa, Pritico has a big problem.
I think Shepard helped him up the speedway there through 3 and 4. Pritico will recover, but he loses a bunch of spots. Meanwhile, watching that battle for second, Stoddy absolutely loving that view out the rear view as Steckley and Rick Spencer-Walt still go toe-to-toe.
8 laps remain for Josh Stoddy. That ridge line number 17 looking for his first career APC victory.
Again, that race on for second. It's Spencer-Walt down the inside. On the outside, it's Kyle Steckley. Race on for second while Stoddy keeps stretching it out. Now 7 car lengths.
Lap after lap, door to door for the second spot. Rick Spencer-Walt trying to clear the 22. Steckley going to cross him over. Steckley to the inside on the front stretch.
What a move by the youngster from Milverton. Winner on tour last year. Trying to get it done here against Rick Spencer-Walt down in 3 and 4. Steckley to the bottom. Spencer-Walt up top. This is the race for second into 1.
At the stripe, it was still Rick Spencer-Walt, but it was darn close.
Steckley now has a little bit of an advantage. He'll clear Rick Spencer-Walt. Here comes Spencer-Walt on the bottom, though.
Spencer-Walt trying to cross him over. Steckley able to defend that move. There's 4 laps to go. 4 laps remain here at Sauble Speedway.
All Josh Stoddy out front, 10 car lengths out front. All he is hoping is that no caution shows up in the next 3 laps. Stoddy on the gas off turn 2. Again, a healthy 8 car lengths over Kyle Steckley.
Best battle on the racetrack is for the 4th spot. Gord Shepard has it. Tom Gibbons wants it. He's got Blair Wickett breathing down his neck as well.
Connor James doing battle with the 21 at Pritico. That's right in front of your point leader. J.R. Fitzpatrick nowhere to go deep in the pack as he tries to gain spots back.
White flag going to be displayed this time for Josh Stoddy as he works to the outside of Andrew Gressel.
Off turn 2 for the final time. That Ridgeline lubricant. Canadian Flat Roof Systems machine gonna go to victory lane here at Sauble Speedway at his home track in front of 260 fans. The 17 of Josh Stoddy picks up win number 1 of his APC career.
Kyle Steckley comes home second and gives a bit of a nudge to Josh Stoddy. I don't know if that was congratulations or if that was I'll remember that for next time. Rick Spencer-Walt going to come home third. Then it's a couple of 10s. Tom Gibbons and Gord Shepard rounding out the top 5. This might be career best finishes for Gord Shepard, for Blair Wickett. Great to see.
Tom Gibbons.
There's drivers who just seem to find the troubled spots, right, throughout a race. Tom Gibbons seems to be one of them. So fantastic run for Tom Gibbons. Way to get to the end of that one. J.R. Fitzpatrick. Well, we'll give you the full field rundown while they do this victory lap. Josh Stoddy, your winner. Kyle Steckley, second. Third, Rick Spencer-Walt. Fourth was Gord Shepard. Fifth was a 10 of Tom Gibbons. Sixth was Blair Wickett in the 97. Then the 29 of Ryan Kimball, seventh. The 83, Dale Shaw, eighth. The 4, Connor James, ninth. And the 84, J.R. Fitzpatrick rebounded to finish 10th.
11th was Matt Pritico. 12th, Jake Sheridan. Danny Benedict came home 13th. Sean Chenoweth, 14th. 15th was Colton Everingham. 16th, James Horner. Andrew Gressel, 17th, 1 lap down. Jordan House, 18th, also 1 lap down. Then you get into Junior Farley in 19th, Billy Schwarzenberg in 20th. De La Riva came home 21st, Gemmel in 22nd, McGlynn 23rd, and Jade Franklin 24th.
The Ridgeline crew coming down to celebrate. Clinton Jeffrey, take it away from Victory Lane.
Well, Sauble fans, he's got his helmet off. He'll work out of here, out of the 17 car just a moment. And we'll get a word with a very ecstatic Josh Stoddy, who wins his first ever APC Tour event here on the beach. And we'll get him out here to talk to him in just a moment's time. And you can bet this is going to be a popular one here at home for Josh Stoddy. Here he comes, Sauble Speedway. Let him know you appreciate his efforts tonight. Josh, amazing drive here tonight. It was a situation where you just had to stay patient and kind of let the race come to you, and that's what you did. Did you have a feeling that there was going to be trouble at the front?
Yeah, I used up the 22 pretty good, and I apologize, but these things don't come easy. He's won a few this year, and I've been fighting for this series for 7 years to get this. To do it at home with all the sponsors, we got over 300 people here, is just amazing. I'm just so excited.
Talk a bit about your race for us. You know, just a situation of staying calm and making sure you made the right moves, because you haven't had the luck in the past 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, when you're running third with this series, it's nothing to hold your head down about. And, you know, we capitalize. Unfortunately, 84 dumped the 29, and that's where you got to be in these situations to capitalize. And we got it done. We brought it home.
Congratulations, Josh.
Thank you very much.
Josh Stoddy grabs the win. We'll get over here and have a word with second place Kyle Steckley. Kyle, you've been running a lot this year, you know, here with the APC Series. Took last week out west with the NASCAR Pinty Series. You're in these races. You got to be happy with this one.
Yeah, a little disappointed. You know, I think we had the faster car tonight, but got roughed up pretty good there at the end. And, man, I'm just so thankful for my whole crew for working hard, giving me a great piece. And we've had a lot of success here in the late models the last couple of weeks. So huge thanks to APC Auto Parts, Quick Fire Starters, Canusa, Automotive Warehousing, Stewart's Equipment, and the Stewart's 100. Wish we could have got the win, but we'll be back. And just got to thank everyone for all their support.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you.
Kyle Steckley, upcoming star here in the series. We'll bring Rick Spencer-Walt over into the light a little bit. Oh, we'll come to Rick. Rick, you know, that was a wild one out there. A lot of change in lanes. A lot of strategy at speed out there. Talk about the end of that race for us.
That was wild. JR and 29 getting into it there, and then Stoddy and the 22 got together down the back sheet. I seen him climb the wall. And I think we need to maybe bring 3 door panels to this racetrack when we run the outside of people here. So it'd be a lot nicer if they just let up a little and hold the bottom. They got the bottom. It's a preferred groove, but hard battle to get back to where we were. We fell back early, and I just let guys go and tried to save as much as I could. And the Precision Strike Energy, greensteelroof.ca, imagewraps.ca. We got a lot of people on this thing helping us out right now. McCall Racing Enterprise, we showed up and had a lunchbox of a car for practice, and they changed every single thing in this car. And Terry back there in the pits, man, I can't give him enough credit. He worked his ass off today and got us a top 3.
Solid drive, Rick. You've been in all these races this year. Rick Spencer-Walt will finish third. Kyle Steckley be second. And your winner tonight, have a one big, huge round of applause for Josh Stoddy.
And race fans, before we lose you here tonight, don't forget there's more action tomorrow. The Beat the Heat 150, the conclusion of the race from Wednesday night. And let's take a look at the APC United Late Model Series finishing order. We know the top 3 because they're down on the front stretch. Of course, Gord Shepard, Tom Gibbons rounding out that top 5.
Blair Wickett comes home 6th. Ryan Kimball fights back to 7th. Dale Shaw 8th. Connor James 9th. And J.R. Fitzpatrick rallied back to finish 10th.
11th through 15th, Matt Pritico in the 21, Jake Sheridan in the 52, Danny Benedict, Sean Chenoweth, and Colton Everingham. Great job for Colton Everingham, who hung in there all night. Did suffer some body damage in the one accident, but managed to keep himself on the lead lap.
James Horner wound up 16th. Andrew Gressel comes home 17th after being a factor for much of the race. Jordan House finishes 18th, Junior Farley 19th, and Billy the Kid Schwarzenberg in 20th.
Rounding out the field, Eric Della Riva 21st, Shea Gemmel 22nd, Sean McGlynn 23rd, and Jade Franklin 24th. Race fans, thank you so much for joining us here at Sauble Speedway tonight. And Jamie, you've got an update.
Unofficially, I'm counting a 5-point advantage from J.R. Fitzpatrick back to Steckley. I think you can probably safely count Gemmel and Gressel out after today. Josh Stoddy made some grounds. He still could be a championship contender here.
A lot of racing still to come. It's going to be a fun tail end of this season. You can catch it all on GeForce TV. And, folks, still some great racing here to come at Sauble Speedway. So don't forget, tomorrow there's action here at the track, and then every Saturday night for the rest of the summer. Always something fun to do at Sauble Speedway. For Jamie Maudsley and Clinton Jeffrey and Dave Middleton and Jim Irvin, I'm Adam Ross saying so long from Sauble Speedway. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming out to the races, and we'll see you next time.
copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of GeForce TV. GeForce TV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.